I can pick up the phone and call Howard. I can pick up the phone and call Joe Rogan. I can pick up the phone and call Tucker Carlson. I can pick up the phone and call Roger Stone. I can pick up the phone and call Deion Sanders, Larry Bird, Tony Stewart. I mean, that's pretty good pick up the phone stats.
Well, I mean, who's answering? I mean, that's...
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge Show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Seth Lummy hits the high spot today.
He sure does.
Man, good. Hopefully that'll put maybe him, being the high spot of the day. Maybe that'll put him in a better. I feel as if he's in a bad mood today. I feel as if the interaction that we've had, Lummy, so far pre-show to us actually going on the air and the shenanigans and the back and forthness that goes on usually. He's in the mix of it, but today he stepped out, and so he's either one, he's mad at me, two, he's in a bad mood, three, he's mad at somebody else, or four, he just sits out there and chucks rings until the last second because he knows that I will Febreze him on when chucking rings. So I'm thinking he might be out there choo-choo training, just wanting to do the last little bit. Before he walks in the studio, or he could be mad at me. So Seth, what say you? Hello?
I mean, it's just not great to have the first interaction of the day be a negative one.
Which one? What's that?
You telling me that I need to identify myself when I walk in the studio?
Hey, hold on. Is that not unreasonable? If I just ask to please, can you please say that you're in the room? Just because we have a very unique situation. If this is the control room where everything happens, and this obviously is where I'm at most of the time when I'm in the building. This is where I'm at. And especially before the show. So we have like a little ritual where about 5:30 the boys start rolling in, and we collectively talk about the show, different things, just different ideas, different, just different ways of, from podcasting to, what type of mic arm are we going to put on the podcasting table to, the motors on the cash cube might be blown out. It's a meeting that all of us, and it's always me, Brett, Macho Man, Lummy, and Kushner. That's the way it always is. That's our meeting every day.
Yep.
And usually all of you, when you guys walk in, you identify yourself. Like Macho, that little sneaky bastard likes to come in through the back.
Yeah, he
in
does.
The very back. So he'll just, when I can hear him, I'll be like, "Who's here?" So it's Mach. Or even, I don't even have to scream out who's here. He'll just say, "Mach," from the back. Mach. Mach. And then Lummy always walks in and be like, "Hello. Hi, Bubba."
Hi, Bubba.
And then Dan, he gets in literally right, he knows the sweet spot. Because, Dan and Brian, I don't necessarily like them in here during the business part of it. I don't want to bug them. They could care less. I mean, they're invited, and Brian does come infuse himself a little bit. Sometimes gets here a little bit early, and it's part of the business, crosstalk that we're doing. But Dan slides in here about 57, 58. And we have our meeting, and Lummy and Red always says hello when he walks in. Sometimes, and when he has Scout, the wiener dog, he'll put Scout up here, and I'll give Scout a couple little hugs and a couple little kisses, and then I immediately hand Scout back, because if not, Scout will just want me to hold it all day. He just wants me to hold.
That's a cute dog.
He's a cute dog, and I got to tell you, Rhett, we got to do a couple test runs, with Bella and Scout in the parking lot.
Yeah, for sure. She's been training at home with the other dogs, and we also got her shirts on the way too. They were almost done.
the Wiener Dog shirts.
Yeah, she got custom Bubba Army shirts, little racing shirts.
Oh wow!
Yeah, courtesy of our friends at Pinecrest Printing and Signs.
Oh, listen, I know that. I think that's your uncle, isn't it?
Yeah, she's number 420.
I gotta tell you, could you please? Maybe you can give this air check to your uncle. You know, over my radio career, I've been involved in a lot of tents. You know, when I was at the Power Pig, we had a tent. When I was at 98 Rock, we had a tent. Every radio station I've been to, for the most part, has had a mobile tent set up for when you do promotions and things like that. You got a station tent. Most companies have some type of station tent for whatever reason or not. We have, over the years, gone, our old tent's outdated, doesn't have the right information on it. Still structurally okay, but old, lummy, and somewhat dilapidated. Just,
This is old.
it works. It'll work, but it's not like this new tent. So, man, Rhett, you got to tell your uncle. I've had a lot of tents in my radio business, and that tent that he sold us and did for us is probably the best looking tent promotional tent I've ever seen.
That's awesome. Yeah, he'll be stoked to hear that. I'll send him this.
Pinecrest Printing. Is it in Brandon?
Yep, right off of Highway 60.
Man. Can they can print anything from banners to,
yeah.
They can print anything, right?
Yeah, they do it all. Custom embroidery, wide format, big signs, physical signs, metal signs, whatever you need. They do installation. You can order in bulk. You can buy 2,000 T-shirts if you wanted to. They handle all of it.
Yeah, well,
they did our business cards too.
They did that tent. That tent rocks. So thank you. By the way, Celtics. Seth, not trying to get mad at you or nothing, but your math bet didn't quite come through like you thought it would.
No, they didn't.
Big man 028, $1,000 cash.
But you know what? Here's the thing. It's so fun to play with somebody else's money, is it not? Because we lost $1,000. You literally right now, if that was your real money, you would be in the hospital with anxiety. You really would be. They'd be pumping your stomach. You would just be sick you'd be physically ill if you lost $1,000 on a bet.
That's why I don't gamble at all.
Yeah. Let me. Who's Eric Heary? Is Eric Heary just Eric? Is that Big E?
I think so.
$20 on the PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Let's not forget
The big man 028.
Oh my
the
God!
$1,000 cash.
So I'm sitting in my massage. My new thing is after the show, I like to go sit in my massage chair for 30 minutes and just literally, put my schedule, that little day planner that I always carry, and my iPhone. Hook my iPhone, lummy up to some spa music with some birds and a little stream or crick, kind of
Good white noise.
Yeah, well, no, not white noise, like nature, like a waterfall in a forest, and you got your birds and you got your little stream in the background. Well, so you can Bluetooth your phone right into this amazing chair that I don't even know what kind of brand it is. I'm not even trying to have an endorsement here by saying, hey, listen, go to, I might get a hold of the company and ask them, listen, I stumbled upon one of your chairs. And hey, maybe you'd like to be a sponsor of the show. I don't care if you don't sponsor, that's fine, because your chair is absolutely the most ass-kicking massage chair I've ever sat in. And I've sat in a lot of massage chairs, and oh my God, none of them have the circulation pump up, and then the squeeze your shoulder gimmick, then the it goes clear down to your ass, your tailbone, and then circulation through your calves and foot massager. Oh my God,
it's that good.
And I don't even know the company's name.
It's a cumbersome name.
I don't know what it is, but so I like to after the show, go sit in. Kind of now I'm doing it, Lummy, where I can sit as soon as the show's over, and then if we have a podcast or an after show, we can't start it till about 10:35 because I need my 30 minutes in my chair. That's kind of like the new deal.
Your therapy.
So Seth, I don't want you mad at me when I'm just asking you, like I don't think that's an unreasonable ask if you just say when you're walking in, hey, you can say anything. You can call me a F boy. You could call me you don't have to like say hello, Bubba. You don't have to be nice about it because I know deep down you don't want to be nice. You want to be mean. You want to call me fat. And so I don't think today, I don't think you should, I don't, like in my opinion, don't get mad at me, but I think you're making a big deal out of nothing. If the only rule, if you have to go to Phoebe today and say, man, Bubba's a real dick. He's so hard to work for. I just can't take it another day. And Phoebe would be like, well, what did the fat ass do this time? Did he make you help set up anything during the Latin Sons deal? No. Did he ask you to go out back and weed whack and do some unreasonable job that, you probably wouldn't want to do? No. Well, what did he make you do, Seth? I know he's very unreasonable. He's a dick. That's why Anna left, because he was being mean to her. Yes. What did he do to you, my husband? My lovely husband. How did he wrong you, that fat son of a bitch?
What?
I'll tell you what he did. He asked me that when I walk into the studio, if I just say, Seth, here. Really? Wow. That's a real dick move.
And then you started off the show yesterday about the fan, and then you walked off the podcast yesterday because I brought up an email. This is the third time, Bubba. This is the third time that you brought up that I haven't done. I didn't do anything at Latin Sons.
No, listen to me. The first of all, I may grant you, I may give, but the fan, you can't use that as something that made you mad. Like that, you can't use that. That's out of bounds. The fan, it's unheard of. That's one of the biggest cardinal rules ever. So I had to ask you about it. I just can't let you move the fan and just not let it. I can't let it go. I'm sorry. I'm a certain way. I don't like. The rap on me is I won't let things go. You know that, buddy. No 3 days in a row. Not at all. 3 days in a row of funniness, maybe.
Okay.
I'm just saying, God, don't take don't take any of it personal. Jesus.
It's not
I love you. You're probably one of the best co-hosts I've ever had. And I've made sure that I publicly said that on several different occasions, that you are probably the best co-host I've ever have. So when I'm dancing with you, or I'm getting a little heat with you, we're going back to the locker room and we're boys. But we're on the stage right now, my friend. We're working.
Well, I just, again, as far as the interaction this morning, I come in the same every day for the last however couple months. I stood right here in your line of sight for 5 minutes before I went to talk to Lumby about the interview tomorrow.
Seth, you can't assume I can see you. Okay? Verbal. We're in the verbal business. You can't, I'm not, look, when I'm getting ready for the show, I'm not like this. I'm not looking over there at all. I don't know what's over there. It could be, for literally Phoebe could be sitting there and I wouldn't know. I literally don't know who's sitting there unless I make this move. Which I don't make that move.
Right.
I stay stuck on my three as I'm trying to finagle around and find stories to talk about. And so I don't necessarily know you're here. So I just want to, and it's not like, I guarantee you in the 20 minutes that you were here that I didn't know you were here, I never spoke an ill word about you. Not one ill word about you.
Thank you.
Did I?
You went 20 minutes.
But me and Rat and Macho Man and Lummox were talking about various things, from the Cash Cube fans to, what was going to be the clickbait to and we didn't say anything. If somebody's not in the room, sometimes you'll get a little jib in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
You'd be like, hey, where's Macho Man? I don't know, probably over at the 820 site rewiring over there because he likes those guys better than us.
Yeah.
Probably over there doing some stuff for Bruce.
Super setting.
Right. All he does is get mad at us. All we ask him is, simple little phrases and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He gets so mad. So anyway, everybody. So Seth, I love you. I could please don't ever walk in here and be like, got yelled at for the last 3 days. Bitch, nobody's yelling at you. Stop with all that nonsense. All that feeling sorry for yourself. We're just working. Don't read chat too. They're a bunch of dicks. Just saying. So, Lummy, Celtics win in 5. We lost $1,000 courtesy of Seth. But really sending them over the edge. No, isn't it so? Lummy, I put that $1,000 bet on by the way, mybookie.ag. I put that $1,000 Seth says you need to bet 1,000 on the Mavericks. I put that bet in knowing that it's not really my money.
No,
I mean,
of
I don't
course
care.
not.
Seth could have said put 1,500. We don't care. It's not our money. But boy, if that would have been my money, I'd be puking right now. I could never stand to lose $1,000. Just throw away $1,000.
It hurts.
Yeah, for somebody that can do it, it hurts, doesn't it? Not you. A G-ball doesn't really hurt you.
It hurts to see it. To lose $1,000 gambling sucks. I don't care how wealthy you are.
Gambling, yes, but I'm saying like, some of us, if we got $1,000 bill for our car or something like that, we could pay it. We got a little bit of savings, but boy, it would really hurt us.
See, when I get $1,000 bill for my car, I cheer.
See, that's the difference. Let me.
$1,000.
Like if Seth or me or you or whatever got $1,000 repair bill for our car, I mean, well, Seth would be throwing up over it. He'd be like, "There's no way I can pull this off."
I tell you what, though,
live the life I want to.
And I'm not trying to brag or not brag, but I do make a good living. And the cost of living and the increases in things like power bills and groceries and everything like that, I've noticed a difference in the office
but here's the deal,
and at home. It's catastrophic.
So imagine how poor people feel.
It's horrible.
Thank you.
Any poor person would be supportive of the current trend of the country and the way it's going in the economy.
I'm just
it's got to
telling
be
you.
crazy.
Poorpeoplefortrump.com.
I got a couple different. Tara and her husband and my mom are coming to the Tarpons game Saturday night. That's our big get-together. Over 125 Bubba Army tickets sold so far.
Doing well.
Seth, you know why? It's probably because the sneaker inner, Seth, the sneaker inner, he's throwing the first pitch.
Have you been practicing, Seth?
No, hell no, he hasn't practiced.
Come on,
he didn't have to
a little
practice.
bit.
No, I'd have to go buy a glove and
I could loan you a glove for a couple days.
Are you a lefty
Jesus.
or a righty?
Righty.
Oh yeah, okay. We
got
give
a
you
glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I'd have to have a glove,
But
a friend, and a baseball.
Yeah, he didn't have a friend.
You have
he didn't have
three?
anybody. I mean, he can throw it against the tarp, at the ball field, but he doesn't have anybody to return it. Poor guy.
I didn't really think about it much until last night. I started thinking about going out there and.
I hope you whiff it. I hope you Baba Booey it. I hope you do.
Oh, I know. That's what everybody's always rooting for.
I mean, I'm sorry, Seth. I hope it's a strike, buddy.
No.
With a real crisp smack into the glove.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see the strike.
Listen,
I do.
Everyone
Let me
does.
tell you something, Seth, buddy. I'm the last one to have done it, and I one-hopped it there like a little bitch. So you know what? I'm sure you'll do better than me. So don't worry about it. You literally can't do any worse than me. So, I mean, literally, you could almost lawn bowl it, down, throw a grounder to him.
Just want to put some air under it,
Yeah. Long as you can get it to the plate. It doesn't matter what type of gangster move the catcher has to make to get it. As long as you can get it, to the plate. I know you always want to put me over, but sadly enough, the last time I did it, I didn't get it over the plate.
No, but it did bounce perfecally into the catcher's glove.
I understand, Lummi.
After.
I do understand that. Thank you for your loyalty, but I did it. I was a bitch. I was a first pitch bitch. So Seth, don't be a first pitch bitch.
Seth, if you want to come over and throw a little bit.
What an ass kisser.
I might take you up on that,
Jesus,
actually.
Dan.
I don't want to flounder.
Strategically, you should have got a hold of me and asked if you should, ask this offering. Then I would have said no. And then he wouldn't have been able to practice at all. Then he'd be a first pitch bitch. But what are you? Johnny come save the day. Ass kisser, bitch.
How many gloves you got, Dan?
I got a couple.
He's got more than you. He's got enough to field a team.
Yeah.
He's got a big enough field, too.
In the offseason, that football field goes to a miniature baseball
Yeah, I have to
diamond.
just remap it out. I'll do that tonight.
Yeah.
Do you have batting cages under the carriage house? I mean, 'cause I'd like to just get fully ready.
I got a kicking net.
Are you going to chalk up the
Screw
field?
you, Dan.
Chalk
You know,
up the- I
so
got
now,
tons of
Dan.
chalk.
So now, Dan. You know what? Seth's going to come in there and nail it, and make your guy, the guy, your best friend / the host of the show, the guy the guy that you love the most, and then now you make me look stupid because I got to with regards to first pitches. My record right now, Lummy. Well, overall, but the latest time I did it, I bitch pitched it.
Yeah, but Bubba, I don't think it's really a comparison to you as much as it is representing the Bubba Army, and I think everyone would love to see him throw a decent pitch.
You know what? I would have to agree with you. I think as much as I want to be mad at Seth because he's going to make me look like a bitch, I want to make the brand look good.
Yes.
So, yes.
I'm just trying to help the brand.
You know what? I accept your argument.
Practicing doesn't mean anything. The 0-16 Lions practiced, and they didn't win a damn game.
That is true.
Overruled, sustained. That means I allowed it, right? Deny. You usually did.
Objection overruled.
Yeah. And I go, sustained.
Do you have any extra cups,
Meaning,
Dan?
I sustained.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Hold on, Dan. Doesn't that mean that if I'm the judge and you go and you
I say objection, and you
I
say overruled if you disagree. You say sustained if you
right.
agree.
So you objected.
You agreed.
You objected to me, being mad at you for making Seth, a wonderful pitcher by allowing him to use some of your baseball facilities and gloves and backstops and probably batting cages and the whole 9 yards. Seth will be, probably the next 3 or 4 days in training over at the Carriage House here in the afternoons. And you threw an objection, and I have to listen to your oral argument, and then I'll be like, "You're right." So sustained. Bubba's wrong and Dan is right. Let's hope that Seth really, really throws it like a man, throws it like a stud, gets it right across the plate, maybe even a little bit of a cutter action. You know what I'm saying? Seth goes. Can you imagine if Seth got into this real big fancy pose and zipped it on down there about 72 miles an hour, and it had a real slow a cutter slider action.
That'd be awesome.
God, that'd be so cool.
Because we don't want him to look like a real pitcher, and up until when he releases the ball, and then it goes 30 feet and falls.
I wonder, Lummy, who's got the best first pitches. I know that some didn't Tom Brady.
The best ones are the worst ones.
No, the best ones.
Yeah.
There's some of these athletes like Tom Brady and stuff like that have been asked to be the first, or Gronk. I got to think, Lummy, they may wing it right across there pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course.
And a lot of these, athletes, these that at one time were,
Caleb Williams for the Bears just did it at the White Sox game. He threw the ball right into the ground. It looked like he had never thrown a ball in his life.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And he was the number 1 overall pick for quarterback?
Yeah, throwing a baseball and a football seems like it's completely different for a lot of these guys.
It is.
I sent you, according to this site, the 10 best first pitches.
The 10 best first pitches.
Obama didn't make the plate, and Fauci didn't make the plate, right?
Well, I'm in great company then. Stand by. Hold on.
George W. nailed it every time, though.
Sure did with the bulletproof vest on.
George W.
It's
did.
gotta be hard.
That old Texan son of a bitch. All right, Lummy, this is the George W.
It's
did.
gotta be hard.
Oh, well, that old Texan son of a bitch. I know. All right, Lummy, this is. Here we go. Boom. Sorry, we were on you. Lummy, I had YouTube jacked. So sorry.
Sorry.
These are the best 10 first pitches, right? Or the 10 best first pitches.
Yeah, that's what as they say.
Let me see.
Cirque du Soleil at the MGM Grand in Vegas. Watch this. Used to do that in right field.
Whoa, wow. Hold on.
that?
I don't know.
It's like one of those fire breathers.
I think it's like the fire breather behind Carrot Top or something. I don't know. But this dude's
Jeez.
like some kind of Vegas performer. That's one of the, I'm going to be honest with you. That's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And let me, do they got this at number 10 or is this number 1?
That's number 10.
Soleil at the MGM Grand in Vegas. Watch this.
Oh, he's a Cirque du Soleil guy.
Used to do that in right field.
And he's still got some pretty good steam on it.
Oh, yeah.
That's insane.
I've never seen that.
Bam.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. All right, hold on. Who's this, Lummy?
This is a blind kid.
A blind kid?
Yeah.
Now, hold on. And this is on the bet. Okay, hold on.
Don't be upset if he throws a better one than you did.
Man. This kid's a blind kid. Well, how blind is he?
He said that
He's looking at first base.
he's 100% blind.
How blind is he?
That's pretty damn good. Oh, my God. Blind. That is pretty.
10 seconds.
No. So, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, okay.
From the mound.
Yeah, way back in the day in 2009. Full-blown, like, stance and everything. Man, that's a pretty good. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Wow.
Hold on.
Oh, I remember. I think
Ooh.
This is a gymnast from
Wow.
Seoul.
Arch that back.
Yeah, look at that ass.
she's 14.
Oh,
She was 14. Now she's older.
but as Seth, you trying to put me in prison, buddy? I was just trying to.
She's 25.
I don't know
now.
how old she is. I don't know. I can't tell.
Hold on. Wow.
Can you arch your
happened?
back like that, Seth?
What happened? What's that?
Can you arch your back like that?
Hold on.
Late round draft
Colin Kaepernick. Oh, Colin Kaepernick when he was not a banned from life.
pick of the Chicago Cubs, Colin Kaepernick.
Man, that looked like about 80 mile an hour,
About
didn't
to
it?
steam.
He had a 92-mile-an-hour fastball
Wide.
as a high school pitcher.
These poor catchers and everybody has to go out there and do this, catch this stuff.
Oh, hold on. So this is this is a Ray.
Yeah.
Alina Adams to her father.
Who thought she was out here to throw out the first pitch for USO, throws it to the mass catcher, right down the middle. Nice toss there. And
It's not that.
What a terrible throw.
then
Oh, it's because it was her dad.
the moment.
Oh, was it like one of those military
Yeah.
kind of deals where she thought her dad was over in Iraq shooting the bad guys up, and really they sneaked him back over here to be with her for her birthday?
Yep.
That's cute and all, but a terrible pitch.
Yeah, cute moment, terrible pitch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's 10.
All right, this is The Miz from WWE, and Seth, look, he's got the whole getup, right?
Oh,
Got some thigh, though. Look at that thigh muscle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And let me back it up. Did you even see him give like the catcher the okay? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go with you say 3. We're going with 3. Watch ready.
He's got a glove, too.
Yep, I gotcha.
Wow.
Oh, he nailed it.
Hell
Nailed it.
yeah! I mean, hell yeah! Oh, okay. This
I
is
think that was just getting
Oh,
No,
wow,
it's
Lummy.
just-
Really pulling the heartstrings.
this is a guy that lost both of his legs during the Boston Marathon bombing,
Yeah.
and he's at obviously what's
Fenway.
it called? Fenway Park, one of the most legendary parks. And as far as legendary parks, I think there's only like
Fenway Wrigley.
I think pretty much that's it.
Fenway, Wrigley. Can you put LA out there, or is that just?
I don't know if it's historic, is
Yeah,
it?
no. So
No.
just Fenway, Wrigley. Those are the only 2 old schools left, right? Boom. That's it. Everything. Old Yankee Stadium got torn down. Old
that's gone.
Old Comiskey got torn down. You know, all the.
I think everything's been torn down. I mean,
Yeah. So this guy, they got to put him to the right side of the mound, probably just because he's,
He's in a wheelchair.
because he just, doesn't probably have the. That's
we don't know what he's got, Bubba. I mean, he hasn't whipped it
He
in
just
there
does
yet.
that feet.
Oh, okay. They were doing a multi-throw. Okay.
He threw a good one.
Good job, kid.
That's actually the worst ones, too.
Sorry.
The other ones are kind of cheesy.
Sorry about your legs.
I don't know if you want to see the worst ones they now have.
Oh, this guy's going to throw the first pitch from space.
Yeah.
For the first
Now they're jumping the shark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of lame now. They have zombie.
They're jumping.
pitch, and as you can see, kind of looks like a normal first pitch today, but it was not the case. As the zombies came out, the Walking Dead here in Petco Park, and I have to tell you, the bullpen was
Okay. Well, I mean, it went from being pretty cool to jumping the shiz.
Yeah, I did at the end. I sent you the worst ones.
The
if you
first
wanna
one was
see
the
them.
best one, Baba.
Yeah.
The guy that did the flip.
Yeah, Johnny.
The blind kid was pretty good.
Johnny Blue Man Group or whatever.
Cirque du Soleil.
The Cirque du Soleil guy was good, and the gymnast was good. She did like a little something and then threw it. It's cool.
Did you see this? This is absolutely brilliant. Like, I think, I don't know if this company is, a brand new company, and, or they just are just, they literally just, they're a startup. I don't, or they're owned by a huge conglomerate, and they've been around a little bit, but they're called the Blaze Pod, and there's these things that you buy, and it's all. I mean, if you think about it, if you think about every sport, I mean, okay, maybe not chess, maybe not checkers, maybe. But
car racing.
But I'm talking. No, definitely car racing. Please, definitely. You don't know what I'm going to say. Definitely car racing. I can't think of too many physically involved sport that it absolutely doesn't fundamentally is built around hand-eye coordination. Like every sport that's the basis of being able to be good at said sport is hand-eye coordination. I mean, baseball. What's baseball? Hand-eye coordination. What's hockey? Oh my God, hockey might be the hardest hand-eye coordination. Hockey might be one of the hardest sports to play. NBA basketball, hand-eye coordination. Racing, hand-eye coordination. You're digesting with your eyes the terrain, and your hands are coordinating what your brain sees through its eyes. Correct? I mean,
Yes.
Football. Some, I don't know. Yeah, Lummy, I got to think even in the offensive and defensive lines, it's come down to hand-eye coordination.
Sure does.
Certainly we know quarterback, running back, receiver, kicker, all of that is hand-eye coordination. I mean, like I can't think of a sport other than maybe like checkers and dominoes and things like that. But to an extent, I think, even hand-eye coordination would be pertinent for like chess, because you have to look with your eyes and then coordinate the dexterity to move said piece to said piece of board, right? So, I mean, I guess there is some hand-eye coordination, but probably not, near like some of the other sports I talk about. And so they got these things called these blaze pods. And it's like, Lummy, I was thinking you need to get some for Walker, regardless of what sport he decides to continue on. Right now he's doing this little soccer gimmick, right?
Yes.
Well, I think these are made for this would be like a soccer. I think this is like a soccer deal. This would be the soccer application right here. I mean, I thought they had a video. Yeah. So, or you can paste them against the wall.
$600
for 6 button lights.
Well, hold on. Like, let me. I got to look at. I saw the video earlier, and I was like looking at the video, saying, "Oh yeah, I didn't know they were. I didn't know they were $600."
Jeez.
But I'm sure that they go into like a computer.
I sent you the video for the soccer.
Okay.
I just have Dr. Dan out there like hitting a flashlight.
But what I'm saying is, like, I mean, you're like, can you put it down? Can you like download the information into like a computer and it tracks your kid or the person's progress? You know what I'm saying? Hold on here. All right, so these are these blaze pods for
Is this a client?
No,
okay.
I was just looking at it.
All right, just wanted to make sure I could say stuff.
I wish it was. No, you can say whatever you want. You can literally say whatever you want. Seth goes, I just want to make sure I can say stuff.
I'm going to say 6. I mean,
hold on here. Let me. They're so. Yeah, I mean. Oh yeah, so it is.
Yeah, there's an app for
it's
it.
Hooked up for yeah, there you go.
I mean, I think that's good if you own a team or something like that, to have it for everybody.
Like if you own the Manchester United, you might want to have a few of these laying around, right?
Dr. Dan's going to have one for every kid on the football team next year.
Let me. Do they have the? Can you give me the football application?
I'm looking for one.
For the football application.
Yeah.
You think it's stupid, Dan? Not worth the price?
It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
For real?
Yeah.
Even
I mean, for
$600,
dude, I can't believe it. You could say one and kick to the first goal.
But hold on now. But what if then you could it download it to your phone and then it gave you a report as to which kid had the best timing and accuracy, and you could break it. I mean, then now you're talking about something that could be very effective.
I get it. I get it, and
you've mispositioned a kid, and you didn't realize that he had said skill set, because at practice sometimes it's hard to determine skill set because you don't have a lot of time for practice, and the kids, for the most part, don't pay attention, right?
No, that's absolutely true. It's very difficult to hold a 12-year-old's attention for more than a couple minutes.
Right. So you don't necessarily know that he's a good quarterback because he didn't like last year. Frankie, remember Frankie? I love Frankie. Frankie and Max. I forget who it was. What was our
Luke was the first one, and then Matthew was the one that ultimately became the quarterback.
Matthew was the guy that was when I was there.
Yes.
And Matthew was a good little quarterback.
Yes.
He really was. But I got to throw in one day with Frankie. We were just throwing the football back and forth, and Frankie had a rocket on him.
Oh, he can zip the ball. He just loves to throw picks.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
He's like Jameis Winston.
He's like Jay Cutler. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's Captain Pick. He'll zip it too, right to the guy.
This kid's zipping it right at me. I'm like, man, maybe we should put Max in the slot or whatever the hell, Matthew in the slot, and then have Frankie in motion. Frankie gets the ball and then just wings it because he's got just an absolute cannon on him.
He does have a cannon. He has the accuracy of a cannon.
So he's got he's the next Jameis Winston. He's got one unbelievable cannon.
Yeah, he'll throw a burner right to the defense.
So let me know if they have the football application.
There's no real football. It's all soccer.
It makes sense. And people that do drills, a lot of football that people don't understand isn't just like throwing the ball and slamming into people. There's a lot of footwork drills and things like that. And I think it would probably be helpful for those things.
I think
those are torture to me though to even think about.
Yeah, I just got it. I was clicking through my AOL got me again through like a flash ad.
Got you with the ad.
Yeah.
I think it's outrageous they're charging $600 for it though. It should be like $300.
Yeah, real rookie move.
I think it would be better.
Did I tell you that Clem and Cush today at 10:30? Like very rarely does Cush put anything over. He just his natural walking around. Lummy is like everything sucks. Like that's how he walks around. Like you start at suck with Seth. And then you can he'll quickly go from suck to cool. Like it's not a hard sell, as soon as you got one little bit of coolness, then he'll quickly go from the suck into the coolness. And yesterday I told him that I'd secured Phil Hendry, the great Phil Hendry, Hall of Famer Phil Hendry, for 10:30 to be live on Zoom for our Clem Cush. And he actually
that's awesome.
Way put it over. So Seth, thanks for being cool about it.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. He's awesome.
If you're anybody in radio, man. Now, if you're saying to yourself, and listen, not the average Bubba Army may not know who Phil Hendry is. He's been a West Coast guy, but he's been syndicated all throughout America through almost probably 40 years. And he's just there's been I think 60 Minutes did something on him one time, and he just
they had him on. I don't know if it was 970 or something.
Yeah, it was 970 the whole time.
Yeah, they had him on in the overnights for a while.
Yeah.
My dad used to listen to him.
He's the best. And he's just like he's a one-man show. He literally is. He's the caller. He'll be the host, and then he'll actually put two callers on hold, and he'll be both callers and the host. And I mean, it's the most insane stuff that you'll have. Like he's just amazing. It's old school greatness.
He's your favorite radio guy's favorite radio guy.
Now what now?
He's your favorite radio guy's favorite radio guy.
Yes, he is. He's when speaking with Howard Stern, when we were putting the channels together, we talked about people that we, liked in radio, and Phil Hendry was the top of Howard Stern's list. That's cool, isn't it? I mean, man, when you're Howard Stern's favorite, you would think you should have been in the Radio Hall of Fame way before, now, maybe 15 years ago. Celtics win last night, Lummy. They clinch it. It's in 5. Was it 5?
5, yep.
Yeah, they dominated the whole playoffs.
Can anybody
18.
see? Can anybody see anybody in the East? I mean, does Milwaukee got something? Does
Milwaukee screwed up? Milwaukee handed Boston the championship when they traded Damian Lillard and they had to get rid of Drew Holiday, and then the Celtics ended up getting Drew Holiday. I mean, which is just they stayed up after they lost last year. They went out and got Porzingis. They got Drew Holiday to go with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, and they ran through everybody.
Do you see Indiana a viable? No. You think Indiana this was their year of having any type of chance?
I think that the 76ers are going to upgrade. There's talk about teaming up Paul George. You never know where Russell Westbrook's going to end up. I don't know how much of an impact he's going to make, but I think the East is going to be the Celtics. Maybe the 76ers. The Heat are kind of always in the mix, but I would look for the West and Boston to continue to dominate.
Is Miami done?
Jimmy Butler might leave, so I think they're over him, and so they might bring in a new superstar. But I don't.
How about Orlando?
Yeah, there's some. It could all be BS this time of year, but there were some rumblings about Klay Thompson potentially being someone that Orlando targets. They've had a decent roster. Do you think they get any better next year?
I don't know, man. Whatever.
I do. I think they have a ton. They have a ton of young guys.
They do. I think they got a ton of young guys.
Paulo Banchero. I mean, they've got
some great dudes.
I just think the East right now is just so
dominant.
The Celtics are just
Whatever happened to Toronto? They were on a small run a few years ago, weren't they?
They had Kawhi Leonard, for that year, and then he left.
So there was just a one and done based on one guy.
Yeah,
that guy is like, man, wow. Is he like a $60 million guy?
It's probably a few $100 million guy.
God, can you believe how much? I think the NBA is probably the richest. Like the guys are the most not overpaid, but most paid.
And to me, it's misogynist because they're getting $30 million a year and they're paying these women $80,000 a year. And anyone that talks about anything about equal anything is a hypocrite if they're an NBA player because they're making literally 100 times more per game than the other people.
That's why the NBA is continuing to finance the WNBA, and maybe Caitlin Clark in the new influx of enthusiasm that the WNBA has now will start making money, But I do think that each team should have to break off, like $10 million to go into an overall fund that makes the WNBA. It goes directly to the players, and each player, gets a little bit more money. In my opinion, and the NBA, man, it has just become like. I don't even think they have a hard cap, do they, Seth? I mean, they got.
They do, Bubba, but the contracts like Jaylen Brown, who I believe was the Finals MVP, I think he in the offseason last year signed a $300 million contract, and that's not funny money like in the NFL. That's $300 guaranteed.
$300 million.
Yes, super max deal.
Yeah, like, and here's the deal: they could literally go out tomorrow and get hit by a bus, and as long as it didn't kill them, and they were like completely in a wheelchair for the rest of their life. Their money, their $300 million is guaranteed. Didn't Matt Geiger do something like that?
Yeah, he got hurt quickly, and he got like $100+ million.
It was right after he had just signed his big deal, which I think might have been with either Charlotte or Miami.
I think it was. I thought it was Miami.
Might have been. He signed his big deal. And then got hurt at training camp or within the first couple, games or something like that.
It was the 76ers in 2001, and he signed it in 2001 and retired in 2002.
Right, but what was his deal? What was his 2001 deal?
I'm looking at.
Wasn't it like 3 years, $38 million or something like that?
Yeah.
Well, no, hold on. Don't agree. Tell me the truth.
Well, it doesn't say it on their Wikipedia, but I did see somewhere it said 3 years at $42 million.
Yeah, and he got every penny of it.
Along with that nice house.
Yeah, but then he lost it. He lost it all. He might be the one guy in Tampa that's maybe lost it all more than I lost it all.
I think there's a few guys in Tampa that lost over $30 million. Bubba.
6 years, $51 million.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That was a 76er deal? 6 years, $51 million.
Well, it looks like he only got paid out for, I guess, $47 million. I don't know. It looks weird. Looks like he had to pay a little bit back.
And that wasn't his first contract either. He'd made money before that. Yeah. So he has money. He had money. He had an amazing property. He threw big parties, and it all went bye-bye.
He had some unbelievable Matt Geiger. I mean, if you've been fortunate enough, like Dan and I, to have been invited and hung out on these infamous Matt Geiger pool parties. Oh, my God.
Really? That good?
Lummy, this is what he would do. He would send all of his boys into every strip club in Tampa on Friday night. Okay? Friday and Saturday night, they would just, hit every strip club everywhere, even local malls and things like that. They'd see, like MILFs and stuff like that, and they'd hand you this plastic or this metal invitation pool party card, and you had to have one of those in order to get into the Matt Geiger. You had to be on a list. It was, remember, Dan, it was heavily, like he had it heavily roped off. Like you just weren't some Johnny passerby that was going to get in. He absolutely had it stocked up the way he wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And every hot stripper and hairdresser and just, hot UT chicks were there. And remember, Dan, he would only invite like 40 dudes.
Right. It was always well ratioed.
It was like 7-to-1 women. It was unbelievable. And he had an Outback type catering. The outside kitchen was like an Outback, grill, and had a deep fat fryer. So he had, chefs and waitresses and stuff like that walking around taking, do you want some, French fries? Do you want some onion rings? Do you want a cocktail? Like it was just all that. Then he had this pool that was unbelievable. It was like a mini, Hugh Hefner
resort.
pool. Had all the rock formations and slides off the rocks, and then in like a little hidden two grottos, and there was a lot of stuff. I mean, this was this was like 2099, 2000, 2001, something like that, Dan. And I mean, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, girls could run around topless back then. A lot of girls, like the later it got, the more the girls got. Like you wouldn't want to get there at 12 noon, because that's when it started. But it was like it closed at 6. So or 7.
So you go there around 3, 4 o'clock, and all of a sudden it's popping.
It's 4:30, and all the chicks are drunk, and it's just oh yeah, it's it's popping. And then the after party all was downstairs in his little mini, it was like this little mini village with a cobblestone floor, and you walked through, and it had all these fake storefronts. It was like, it was unbelievable. And then there was a big, huge party room, kind of like a little mini discotheque down there in that area. And like had a DJ and like a ball and like a little dance floor and like hidden. Oh, it was badass. And that's where everybody would end up. And then,
And that's when it really started.
And then after that, it would end up somewhere else, I'm running way late, am I?
Yes, you are.
Okay, perfect.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Christopher Stevens. Also, West Florida morning, T. Barrington.
Are you over there, Steph? Yes. Huh? You over there?
The Havoc. Good morning. TJ Roy. What's up, Tyler Drew? What's up, Dutch Duke? Jack and the dog. Frederick Perez. Good morning. See you. Yes, Brian B. I have heard of that. Apparently it's pretty common. Also heard the vaccine trigger. Ticker. What's up, Iggy? Nick, young guy. This morning. Havoc. Good morning. Leverage Ripper. Thank you. Fish on the J. What's up? Up to God. Good morning. So Black Eye Cali. So Mike Hat. I like your new name. It's better. My cat. Maple flavored Coca-Cola. That sounds good. Jeffrey Seacat said, "Thank you for the tip on Suits, Bubba. He's hooked."
Oh, I know. Suits is the fucking bomb. You bailed on it.
I just hate supporting people that I despise. I'm not going out and buying Michael Jackson albums. What's up, Dave Carr? What's up, Rob Goldberg? 2469. What about his next food review?
Is Lum in here?
He's the biggest Longhorn Steakhouse groupie. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Lummy, if I ask you a question, are you going to be honest with me?
Yes, sir.
Is Seth mad at me? Secretly mad at me?
No.
Cool, hasn't say that.
Well, I wouldn't know why you would think that.
Well, because he's just not spending any time in the studio, you know, like during the breaks. He's leaving, so that like sometimes indicates that he's upset.
We've only had one break today, and then I just went out and I peed, and then I was talking to Lummy about what we're going to do with the logistics for the interview I have tomorrow with the Tampa Tarpons, whether we're going to do a Zoom Willie or whether we're going to go over there. So I was
Zoom would be cool if they could pull it off. Hold on. It's not my interview. I'm sorry.
No, so I was trying to figure that out. So I was trying to talk to Lummy. So that's the whole gist of the last 5 minutes.
Lummy, Fish on the J. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at the Bubba Army. He said $25 because I'm so excited about the Clem Cush Phil Hendry podcast that's going to happen today. You're not going to be able to get that anywhere except in our podcasting world, whether it's iHeart, Apple, Spotify.
I'm thinking about not putting that out till Thursday.
Really stretching them out, huh?
Well, I mean, we don't have
squoze at them.
Well, you know that I'm trying to always look at different ways to do things, and we don't have a ton of guests, and I am light on the podcast downloads this month. So if we have time to hype up an episode for a couple days, and I can throw Pigmentation in today, and then Loner and Stoner tomorrow when Tuttle's actually on the show,
and then you also have you're taping the Girls of the BRN gimmick. I think that you get is that tomorrow?
That's Wednesday.
Yeah,
is that tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah. So that you're going to have that. So maybe it'll turn our numbers around when some with that exclusive stuff.
I'm hoping
we'll get some good pop because it has been slow.
We put up a lot of stuff, but it's been slow. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason for it right now, but it's been slow.
I think a lot of people are on vacation.
It is, Bubba. It's the beginning of summer. Everybody just finished school 2 weeks ago, and they just took off.
Right.
Florida empties out in the summertime. We lose literally a third of our population in the summer.
If you look, I'll tell you this: as I head up to Ocala, every once in a while, let me probably once every 2 weeks, I'm up there. And it is northbound is always doesn't matter what time you go up there. I can go up there right after the show on a Friday, or I can go up there on a Saturday morning. And northbound 75, which means that's exiting the state, is jam packed. But coming home southbound, it's just desolate. And you're looking at and even when you're coming home. From Ocala, you're looking at all the northbound people. You're like, oh my God, it's 2-1.
Yeah, everyone's leaving, but that's the opposite in the fall.
Or
South gets loaded up.
Or spring.
Mm-hmm.
The spring, man, spring break. Oh my God, spring break in Florida has started about now, the second or third week of February. That's when it starts, and it goes clear through April. This, massive amount of people, and here's the thing: the worse of a winter they're having up north determines how
crazy it gets.
Yes, if they're having a mild winter, I've lived.
What do you mean? The snowbirds are coming whether it's
but if
0 or 50.
Yeah, no, I think there's a certain amount of people. If winter's over the top brutal. Sometimes they'll have Warsaw will have a cup. Warsaw, Indiana, only 55 miles from the Michigan state line, so it's way north. I'm not talking about Louisville, Kentucky. This is way up north, and sometimes they'll only get one big snow the entire season, just one big snow. That's it, and everything else is just a couple little snow flurries. And then it gets up to be 43 during the day, so all of it melts, and it just it's dreary. It's very, when you live up north. I don't know if you have, Seth, and you can remember it, but
no.
if you're old enough to remember when you lived up north, during from Halloween till almost May 1st, from Halloween to May 1st, it's just gloomy. And just overcast and just ugh. And it does depress you. It really does. And you got to be in, instead of being in air conditioning, you have to be in, furnace. You got to be in heat. You got to be, they have all the heaters on and stuff.
I got to cut a deal with a Canadian family where I use their house during the summer and then they can use my house when they come down here during the winter. I don't know where I would go necessarily, but I need to do a deal where we reverse, because that's what happens, where everybody tries to leave here during the summer, and then everybody comes down here during their winter.
So you want to Airbnb your house, a reverse Airbnb?
I just need I need a setup, because I would like to leave Florida during the summer for 3 months, and I don't think I
would too. I like to leave ideally I like to leave June, July, August.
Yeah, that's what my mom does. It's the perfect thing.
Oh my God!
She leaves in late May and comes back in mid-October.
Yes,
and it's perfect because Florida. It's hard to beat Florida's winter. It doesn't get much better than Florida in the winter.
It really does. It maybe. I was gonna say maybe San Diego, but yeah, it's tough to beat Florida's winter. It's tough to beat Florida November, Halloween. To April
to Easter, Halloween to
Easter, man. It's tough to beat Florida. I mean, it is pretty badass. You're pretty much swimming a year round. There's maybe
January.
It's
cold.
Yeah, January and a little bit of February. It's cold. Your cold isn't the same as my cold. It's a little bit chilly in the morning sometimes, but it always gets up to 50.
Yes.
But swimming, you don't really. Not a lot of people swim in January in Florida. But I see people in the ocean and swimming, off the Gandy Bridge, all the way through December. and they're back in it by mid-February. People are at the beach and going in the water. It's really, really, really nice, and it's dry.
But
it's
what
not
you
super
don't realize,
wet.
man, in the up north, it gets just as hot up there
In the summers.
as it does down here.
But not as humid.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I go up to Jersey. They'll bitch at about 95. I'm like, man, this is cake. I'll go run 15 miles in this weather.
Well, me and Seth,
15 miles.
me-
Yeah, come on.
I mean, I don't think the average. I don't think anybody else here is saying they're going to go run 15 miles.
No.
Right?
No, but I mean, if Dan said he was going to go do it, I wouldn't doubt it for a second.
Oh, hell no. Dan, do you really think that right now you could tear off all your clothes and put on your jogging shoes and your little, like, I'm thinking that when you go jogging, like you wear like one of those really, really like jogging pants, like they're kind of loose fit but kind of tight. And I think you could probably go. Do you think that literally you could strip off right now, gear up in your running gear, and run 15 miles right now?
Well, Bubba, about 10 years ago, I was pissed off one day. I had not been running in like probably a year, and I put on my running shoes and I ran 11 miles.
Okay, that was
Pissed
10 years.
off.
That was 10 years ago.
But I could
pissed
do
off.
15. Yeah, absolutely.
You could run 15.
I could
miles.
run 15 miles right now. It wouldn't be fast, but I could cover the 15 miles.
Are you like? Let me like. If ask like anybody asks, I got to think me, you, or Seth. Like Seth's in pretty good shape.
I'm not. No, I can't do that.
Seth,
I could run to the stop sign probably.
I'm thinking like if somebody had a gun to my head and said I'm gonna kill your entire family. If you just give me a number, how far you can run without stopping. Hold on.
What a scenario!
Hold on. Give me like or like maybe they said, listen, it's 2 miles. Like, let me. I got to think that that might be straight. Like, I might be just shuffling. I might be walking like Joe Biden on those last couple.
But you'll cover it.
I think I could probably. Yeah. I could maybe run 2 miles, maybe, but without stopping. But it's not going to be. It's going to be glorified walking to most people. But I think I could.
But you keep moving.
So, Lummy, what's your number? You think?
I mean, if I can somewhat shuffle and walk,
Kind of like
I guess maybe 2 miles.
Okay, you're a 2 miler.
Yeah, I'm 2 miler.
How about you, Seth? You think you could go 5?
If I could walk and run?
No, there's no walking and running. You always got to keep running.
Oh, I got to keep running?
Right. Even if it's just kind of shuffling, you're still kind of bouncing and running. 5? I bet you.
The most I did was I was running 5Ks for a little while without stopping. So, but I mean, obviously not doing that now. So I'd probably say I could get 2.
Okay, so you're in the 2 group with us, which Lummy now makes
inside though. I couldn't do 2 outside right now.
Lummy, it makes me feel like I need to drop down to 1. If you and Seth are at 2, I think maybe I have stretched it out a little bit.
I mean, 2's going to be Bubba. I'm going to be throwing up and halfway dead at 2. I'm not saying there's going to be a breeze, but
I got to say that I'm going to be right there with you. I'm going to be the guy who gets his entire family shot. I'm not going to be able to do it.
If I put 2 in my head, I think I could do 2.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go try?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Rat.
Yeah, probably 2 at most.
Right.
2 or 3. I am not in good shape.
Mach?
Yeah.
Count
I just
reputations
ran
on
to 820.
He's not.
Right. That's right.
He's not a cardio guy either.
Yeah, he's not a cardio
Clearly.
guy. No, clearly.
So just Dr. Dan.
So anyway, listen, man, this means a lot to me. So hopefully you guys can go out. I'd love to sell another 50 or 60 tickets to the Tampa Tarpons game. It's happening this Saturday. The first pitch, Lummy, is scheduled for what?
Well, they want Seth there at the guest service at 6:05, so they're probably going to do it about 6:15, 6:20, just depending on the players.
Now, Seth.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm not saying that you're like you weren't late for when we went to the Eric Andres. You're always very prompt, but you know that this you have to definitely be on time for this one. Because
Well, I mean, listen, if something happened, I mean, there's I have plenty of strong arms that could fill in for me.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
it's not like we're hosting an armless convention that night, and I'm the only guy that can throw it.
I'm just saying, like, please try to be on time.
Yeah, no,
if
of course,
if
sir.
you could.
But you never know what could happen on the way from St. Pete to Tampa. It's wild out there on the streets.
Okay. Rodney Dangerfield. Hey, it's really tough out there in the Tampa streets. I can hit a pothole and be on a buddy tire. I don't know. Now, Seth, are you bringing Phoebe?
I don't. Again, I really haven't made a lot of plans yet because it's my dad's bar mitzvah, and I know that it's early on in the day. But
The bar mitzvah, because we spoke to Elise yesterday on Clem and Kush.
Yeah, we got the bar mitzvah, and then
Your dad's?
It's his dad's bar mitzvah.
He just became Jewish?
Yeah, no, he's been Jewish the entire time. He got ripped off, for whatever reason. Maybe his family didn't have any money or something like that.
No, I think he got kicked out of
his mom said he was bad.
He was a bad Jewish kid.
They didn't let him have his bar mitzvah?
And they kicked him out of the Jewish thing. He got kicked out.
The scandals.
So then he was like, "Listen, I'm a good Jew, and I'm gonna go and repent my sins." And and do more of the studying and
ask Jesus for forgiveness.
Haba laba the bing bongs and all that.
We're gonna be over off Swan at the temple, Dr. Dan. If you want to swing by for the party, because my dad's a huge fan of yours, so he came by, said a few words
on Swan.
Yeah.
What time?
I think he's gonna get bar mitzvah at 10:30. I think that ends at like 11:30. Then the party's right after.
This is on Friday. Saturday. Oh, the daytime. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you a text. No big deal either way.
No big deal.
What time's the game?
Big Larry's bar mitzvah. Oh, I don't need you. Are you coming?
Yeah, I was going to.
Are you okay? Now, are you bringing anybody?
No.
Okay.
Just myself.
All right. So, Lummy, what time are you saying that you need the employees there?
Just
talking about Saturday Tampa Tarpons game. Lummy, where would the Bubba Army go to get these tickets?
Tarpons.BubbaArmyHQ.com.
All right, there. There you go. Tarpons.BubbaArmyHQ.com. And that's our $49 ticket. All you can drink sodas and waters and other things and beer and wine and food. There's unbelievable food. They got it's awesome.
It is. It's a good time.
All right. And so let me thank you for that.
And what time we didn't say?
If everyone can try to be there by 5:45, just get there a little early. Make sure we're all
What time
good.
does the game start?
6:30.
The game starts at 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sets pitch about 6:20.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
He needs to be checked in at 6:05.
Am I gonna have a handler like Lummy or Colton?
Yeah, sure. You'll probably have Rhett.
Okay.
I think Rhett will be your handler. Rhett, could you be his handler? Because I'm figuring you're going to be the guy that tapes. Would like to be out there, with as close to taping as you can.
Yeah, we're going to film it like we did yours.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so Rhett will handle you, and then he'll bring you back. He'll bring you up to our area.
Handle you.
My mom's going to be there. Merch Crick's going to be there. My sister, her Egyptian husband. Lummy, are you bringing Ashley?
Yes, Ashley and Walker.
Okay, both.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. Baseball.
He loves when Marita Guatemala pick him up, and he's got those big silky milkies.
Between him, and then Merch Crick.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Merch Crick, listen, stop picking up Walker because I know I know what's going on around here.
What, he's silky, milky, aggressive?
He loves boobies.
Oh yeah, he's like
for milk or just for aesthetics?
Just for aesthetics,
just
both.
The touch.
Oh, just the pillow effect.
He knows.
You know what I'm saying? He knows.
He knows.
Yeah, for years at this point.
So you're bringing your entire squad. Dan,
yes.
You're coming by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Seth, you're not bringing Phoebe.
I gotta.
I'd love for you to.
No, I know. I just have a lot going on right now.
Okay.
Let me just figure out the bar mitzvah and let me talk.
That's right. I forgot about the bar mitzvah.
Let me talk to Phoebe
I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
She may just want to pack it up and head back home after being bar mitzvahed for so long. You know what I'm saying?
She might have enough at that point.
Is she Jewish?
Yeah, she converted.
Yes.
Okay, she converted.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, she just might be like, listen, you know what? I'm Jewed out, and I need to go home, me and little Sammy, and just kick it back. Watch something on TV, let little Sammy go crazy.
Well, we got the new puppy too, so
that's right.
I don't know how much she wants to leave her alone. So
What kind of dog is it?
Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, those are so cute.
So Seth, I do understand you have a lot of stuff. Lummy, I'm bringing the Merch Crick. Rat, you bringing your girl?
If she's not working.
Oh, okay. Is Macho's across the room?
Oh yeah.
So Lummy, I'm thinking about the food review this week, and I can either go back to Taco Bell and get the Cheez-It the way I was supposed to, which I'm willing to do that, or go to Checkers and get. And are these still available? Because let me see. I
think they're out for the whole month.
Okay.
What's the difference between the brisket melt and the Bosswich?
I think the boss, which is, Dan, obviously you are one of the most smartest guys around here. And I would say even the dumbest guy around here could probably determine that this one seems a lot bigger.
It looks like you get more meat on it.
Is there just other stuff too, though? Or is
I
it
don't
just
think so.
More meat?
I think it's just more meat.
Just more meat. Of course, let me, if I go, I got to go with the boss witch.
Of course.
If I do.
You're the boss.
But, Brett, would you suggest that I go and do Taco Bell correctly? Or would you check that I, go over to the Checkers and get the big boss switch?
I think you should try the boss switch just because I think it'll taste better. I think the two things you get from Taco Bell are going to taste kind of close to each other.
let me tease into this. Hopefully our cash cube's not broken.
Let's hope not.
Oh my God!
You guys didn't test it yesterday and dry it out?
Yes.
And it didn't fail.
Yes, we did. It worked for a little bit, and then now let me. It seems like the two blowers, the big blowers, they're fine.
Oh yeah, of course. I covered those up the minute it started raining.
Now, what we potentially might have a problem with is the two fans that power the actual cube up that keeps the cube inflated. Then the two blowers are the ones that blow the money around. But there's these two little fans that keep the money cube inflated, and they were working. Now, could be one of two things. One, they're the fans because they were underwater, or two, the module, that computer module, that
little box.
That little box.
Strauss TV, Super Chat, thank you.
Hopefully, Macho Man, we could just, get some parts and fix it and not have to I don't want to have to buy another. And in fact, I don't know that I would buy it. The cash cube may have come and gone. I don't know if I can afford another. Those things are expensive.
So it took a lick?
Well, Macho said he's pretty confident in being able to fix the fans.
All right, hopefully. So before I go to words, let me tease you with this, and I'm scratching my head because you know that when I go to the Tampa Tarpon games, when we all collectively go as the Bubba Army, one of the gimmicks is that we heckle the pitchers.
And the Tarpons love it.
And that's why I'm a little bit confused because the Tarpons love it. They've even told us we heard back from the other opposing team's pitchers. Word got back to them within the pitching world that we were brutal on these guys, and they're
cost them the game.
Yeah, they're blaming us for the game. So I was up until I saw this, I was just really raring to go on really getting my heckle on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Really getting my heckle on, and then this comes over. This story here, and this is such a sad story. And I don't want to be that guy.
I'll be in the same category as a scumbag, Bubba. Come on, have some fun. Be a loser, degenerate. That's on dreams of the kids that are trying to make it.
Till they ban us from the Tarpons games.
All right, so
when you say the Tarpons love it, who are you speaking as? The GM, who?
GM, the staff. Captain Creamsicle's wife. They all love it.
So
the players he can understand.
Yes, the players that speak English.
I know, but it seems like both teams that we've heckled had a lot of white guys on the team, so we were pretty good with that.
Of course.
So, maybe we should. Okay, I'm going to read the story next. It's really got me second guessing as to whether I should heckle or not. But we need to kind of get into the roster of the team that we're playing and start breaking that down and finding. First of all,
relief pitchers.
Oh man, come on.
Can you announce right now, because the Bubba Army will do a lot of homework for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can you? What's the team called?
The Palm Beach Cardinals.
The Palm Beach
Cardinals.
All right. Is that part of the Cardinals organization?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Palm Beach Cardinals. So that's who we need to start digging into.
Yes, we do.
Perfect.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Yes. I'm about to pull it though. Hasn't done what I wanted to do there. So.
Oh, that's. Oh, okay.
It's on consignment.
Did not know that. I was gonna say. I didn't know it was a 91.
Huh?
I didn't know it was 91. I thought it was a little late 80s.
Yeah, 91, 7,000 miles.
It's a pretty sweet.
It hurts my shoulder to drive it.
Bubba's Ass Towel, 74 months. J-Rod, 4455, 44 months. Meathead, 07, 31 months.
And Barry powered little thing, not that long, it makes little stuff.
Colorado, Ohio.
Thank you, Muffy.
What's up, Gary? Beaker 69, 41 months. Saturday, Steve. What's up, XXL Gaming? Nice. Look forward to it. What's up, Fish on Day?
No problem. You got it.
Bubba, why is the countdown timer not out there anymore?
Long necker.
I don't know. Then when they repainted it.
Oh, shit. Anybody need anything?
What?
Anybody need anything?
Nope. I'm good.
No, Woody.
Hi, Lemmy.
Hi, Bubba. You saw the whole thing now.
Knight Rider 12, I think the debate is seated. I believe I read that was 12.
Thanks, powwow.
That's it. That was the thing.
Yeah, because
It's a sit.
I can't stand. Maybe I'll fall asleep.
Comfy chair.
You want a comfy chair?
The show was great. Somebody told me I ruined the show yesterday. It just goes, you know, goes every way. Yeah, it was.
Make sure you subscribe to Bubba Army HQ. Otherwise, Bubba will have to take action. And there's a lot of power behind those short arms. Welcome back to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Yes, Seth. By the way, the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. I really like how the show's been going. I really like the feel of the show right now. I really do. It seems like everybody's on the same page and we like each other and our numbers are trending up. And except for Seth and I, we have to deal with a certain amount of, just to let you know, Seth, we're hated. You and I are hated the most, like 1 and 2 and 2 and 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, you and I are would you not agree that you and I are the most hated?
Well, no one hates Lummy.
No, we're not talking. We're
why-
not speaking about Lummy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one hates Lummy. No one really hates Mach.
Listen, this is my show. I'm breaking it down. Shut up.
Okay.
Thank you. I mean, Jesus, God. Way to take over my entire topic, my entire subject matter. Just taken right away from me. Dan.
Supporting you. I was backing you up. I wasn't taking it away.
I wasn't done.
So,
You
I was
can't back
co-signing.
up when I'm halfway.
Oh, okay. I was just
So anyway,
co-signing.
Seth, I mean, you would agree. It's like, they hate you or they hate me or they hate us both. So I almost feel like that little imaginary line that separates, you and I, this upper level from the lower level. That's like the Clem Cush, Mason-Dixon line where everybody on the other side of that is well-loved, like almost Hatfields and McCoys type of deal. Like we're the bad guys over here that sit up. We're the bad guys that sit up high. You know what I'm saying?
I've been feeling. I mean, there's always the stuff that surfaces that's negative, and a lot of it has been, anti-Semitic stuff lately. But for
that's kind of cheap heat.
I know, but overall, Bubba, I mean, I feel the love from the Bubba Army.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a dude, Blake, that sent a Victor Wembanyama to my house yesterday.
For real?
Yeah,
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to quiz Dan on who Victor Wembanyama was. Nobody? Give him any cue. Who does he play for, Dan?
I thought he was the guy you picked up at Home Depot, so I have no idea.
Wow. You don't
$20
know
for 2 hours.
You don't know.
Come on, Victor.
You don't know who Victor Wembanyama is?
No, I don't.
For real?
In my little world, he doesn't exist.
Wow. But in the rest of the world, outside of Dan's little bubble, he's a very important person. Like,
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly, Dan. Don't give yourself an out. He's arguably, one of the greatest people to ever be a rookie. Like, he's the hottest
Rookie this year?
Yeah. He was like 7'4". He's like 7'4" and can shoot as good as Larry Bird from the 3-point line. At 7'4".
Oh, I thought he was a baseball player. He was a basketball player?
Anyway.
Oh, God.
Let's not rely on Dan on anything.
Well, not on basketball. Like, I really care less about, the NBA.
You don't?
I hate the NBA.
Why?
Because they don't play defense. They're overpaid. They hate America publicly, yet America's making this opportunity for them. And I think they're just greedy, selfish, self-absorbed, lazy Fs. That's how I think of the NBA. I can't stand them.
What about the NFL?
I love the NFL.
What about NASCAR?
I love NASCAR.
What about F1?
I like F1.
Talk about some snobby son of a bitches. I've been watching some F1 stuff lately, man. These guys, like NASCAR guys got buses and stuff like this. But, man, right at the garage in the pits, each one of these drivers has like a little apartment. They set up like a little apartment for them. And, like, they really coddle these guys, do they not?
Yes, they do.
But
these guys also, most of them came from very wealthy families as well. These guys weren't just like eating on free lunch tickets their whole lives and suddenly became $50 million a year people. These guys have had
racing of all sports has. Years ago, it started with like Joey Logano, or actually it started with the Menard guy, Paul Menard. His dad was the first one to write a check for his son to get a job. Basically they call it rent a ride. Mm-hmm. And your dad literally in NASCAR, it's not like there's some of the holdbacks that got in there, the old school way of being discovered. Not a lot. There's not a lot of those left. Maybe the Bushes. Maybe Kyle Busch, maybe Brad Keselowski, maybe Denny Hamlin. Those might be like just a couple that got organically, if discovered. Everybody else, Dad has written, a $2.5 or $3 million check to get you into Xfinity, and then they do that for 3 or 4 years. So your dad's writing,
It's every year he's writing a couple million?
Yeah, exactly. Every year your dad's writing a couple $1 million, and then they're like, okay, first year, NASCAR, Cup racing, that's $5 or $6 million a year until we find, unless your son happens to be super good, and then he can start paying for himself, like just through sponsors and things like that. But NASCAR, so you're saying F1, it's been rent-a-ride for a long time too?
Not so much rent-a-ride as much as it is like their fathers were F1 drivers. Like it's kind of a tight circle. And there's a couple guys like Lance Stroll. His dad bought the team, or put 50% interest in the whole team, and that got him his ride. So there have been some guys.
How many guys are rolling around England or Germany or whatever and are better than Lance Stroll, but Dad doesn't have the ability? Dad's out there just delivering bread all day, whatever they do, and whatever in Europe. As just a common laborer.
Deliver bread.
I'm just saying. Like this,
He's got a wagon.
This one dude, he's as good as Billy Stroll, but or Lance Stroll, but his dad's just a commoner. And he'd
never be driving Formula One.
That's what I'm saying. That's what NASCAR's become.
Is it? Okay, so I guess my question is this: and I would say in Formula One, probably a third of the guys are bought rides, and the rest of them really did earn it because they were like Formula 3 champions or they'd been in Formula One for 15 years. What percentage of like NASCAR?
Over half.
Over half?
Over half.
Really?
Over half.
Really?
At least to get in, at least to get that first couple years, and then maybe they've established themselves to be pretty good, and they make the playoffs every year, and then they obviously at that point don't have to pay anymore, and they start getting a paycheck.
Half the drivers. Wow, that's crazy.
Maybe yeah. It's no. Why do you think Tony's getting out of it?
I don't know why he was getting out of it.
Tony's getting out of it because NASCAR will not say that the charters are permanent.
What's a charter?
The charter they're okay. So that would be a charter would be considered like, for instance,
a franchise,
a team.
Like a franchise,
yes.
Like a team franchise. Like the Hendricks team is a charter?
Right. So
okay.
They have, Hendricks has 4 charters because you have to have a charter per car.
Oh.
So like Michael Jordan's 2311, I think they only have 2 cars. So they have 2 charters.
I understand.
Well, Tony's selling all 4. Supposedly all 4 of his charters are sold. Supposedly, I think they sold for $30 million apiece. But NASCAR and their latest negotiations, there's NASCAR. All the drivers formed a union,
which makes sense.
And yeah, because otherwise NASCAR can just kick you out. You don't have any recourse because they're the only game in town. Well, so the NASCAR said, okay, since you formed a union, and the NASCAR owners were like, we want something of tangibility that. If we're going to participate in your sport, we need something of tangibility that otherwise we don't have anything.
Yeah, some property of value.
Yeah, so they said, okay, we're going to sell you charters. So each original team got, I think, you got literally, if you're part of the NASCAR system, I think they had 36 or so charters available. 32, 31, something like that, charters available. And each team gobbled up as many as they wanted from 1 to 4, with 4 being the most. And then they all bought them for at that time, $2 million per charter or something like that. Now they've gone up in value because they've restructured NASCAR, and now they're getting a percentage of TV. The owners are now getting a percentage of TV,
which is smart,
right? So the owners are being smart. The Hendrickses and the Penske's, they're not stupid people. So they actually, this is a very sustainable and very brilliant thing to give, for NASCAR to have charters of tangible. But so now, Dan, this is how NASCAR's trying to screw them. The owners are like, charters aren't worth nothing unless they're forever. That'd be like saying, you know what, the new guys who bought the Washington Commanders, you're obviously buying a franchise in a recognized NFL league. Your franchise doesn't expire in 2 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're saying with regards to the charters, is that they expire and then they go back to NASCAR. I don't know. I know that they're eons away from having a deal, and I wish I wish that the France family. Now, is F1 controlled by? They're controlled by a company, are they not?
Well, years ago.
I mean, they're not controlled by a family.
They were controlled by one person for 30 years.
Really?
And what happened was, right around when Niki Lauda got burned, and everyone wanted to watch that Japanese race afterwards, he was able to put together a deal for TV. And he went around and he offered every team for $1 million to have a piece of that deal. And they all said, go pound sand. So for the $10 million it cost him, he owned all of the television rights and pretty much all of F1 for 35 years. And so he made literally like $1 billion doing that or more. And, having the teams own part of the major company makes sense because that way all the teams, get the profit and they get to have the better cars.
Almost like a charter.
Right. So right now, Formula One is very stingy about who they let race in Formula One, even though they only have 20 cars.
So here's the deal. Even the Andretti's. Even the Andretti's, they just applied with F1 for a spot, I guess, and they were denied. And Mario Andretti is full hot about the deal.
It makes no sense. First of all, they should have 24 cars and not just 20, because a couple cars get knocked out, and then suddenly there's like 15 cars on the track, and it's boring.
At least let the
Andretti's. Come on, they're race royalty.
Well, not only that, but hold on, not only that, but you're talking about a guy who was a former F1 champion.
Right.
You're talking Mario Andretti.
Right.
Back in the 60s, was an F1 champion.
Yep.
So, it is recognized, you hear A.J. Foyt, Mario Andretti, Kyle Larson, Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Sr., was it Senna? Senna, Ari Leyendyke. I mean, you just hear some of the greatest racers of all times, and Mario Andretti is
one of the best of all time.
Always in that conversation.
Absolutely.
And they want to have breed a little new life into F1, and all the F1 little bitches teams are all saying no, we don't want the Andretti's. And so as of now, the Andretti's are not allowed to be part of F1.
And what's really weird about Formula One is because it's pretty much controlled out of England. All the teams are required to communicate in English, which is kind of weird. But it seems that there is such an anti-American sentiment within the world, and certainly within Formula One, that they don't want to give too much to America, which is
stupid. I think Americans are a bunch of hillbillies, because when we talk, when they talk, they're like, you need to downshift a little bit closer to turn one. Our engineers are coming back and telling me that you're downshifting approximately 2.4 seconds too soon. they're so genuine.
Where in America be, God damn it, Bubba, stop short shifting that car, you bitch.
Hey, Bubba, this is a spotter. Oh, man, you know what? You're going in there about 50 feet too high before you're going down to third. May go ahead and double clutch a little sooner. Get you on. All right, all right. I think they think we're just a bunch of cavemen over here, and we're so refined, and there's no chance that we can be nearly as elite as their little creme de la creme. I mean, look at the players involved. You got Red Bull, which at the end of the day, I mean, they're
huge.
But they're not like they're not a manufacturer. But if you look at the manufacturers involved, what do you have? You have McLaren, you have Ferrari, you have Mercedes, and do you have Honda?
Well, Honda makes engines. They don't necessarily make a chassis.
Right. So those are the three manufacturers that
BMW used to do it. I mean, there's Aston Martin had a Jag, but a lot of those were like really Cosworth engines. There's like several engine manufacturers. Obviously, Mercedes makes a great engine. Honda makes a good engine, and Ferrari makes an engine, and there may be a fourth engine, but that's it.
Now, who does the Red Bull's team use?
Honda, I believe.
Honda. And are they the ones that are they the guys that are the big slinging D's?
Right now they are. So Mercedes was crushing under Hamilton for years because they were the first ones that figured out that if you split a turbocharger in half and put one half on one side of the engine and the other half on the other side of the engine, it works better. And so they had a disruptive quantum leap in technology that made their engine way better than anybody else's for about 3 or 4 years. And now, for some reason, Honda seems to have this amazing engine. Plus, Red Bull's got some of the best engineers and chassis designers
here's what I can understand,
in history.
Is that when you look at the F1 costs, and they'll say like the engine, which is like what, a little 2.4 or 1.6, like it's something tiny.
It's tiny.
It's $10 to $12 million. Now, I just don't understand how something I just can't understand how that could be $10 million. The materials and the block and just all the components might only be, I don't know, $40 or $50 or $80,000 just the components. Like, how is it $10 million for an engine?
Here's how. Each piece of metal is a very exotic and proprietary alloy. Those take a lot to develop. Secondly, every piece is handmade for that engine. So we're not making 6 million spark plugs or 6 million pistons or rods. They're making 30. And that quadruples, quintuples, tenfolds the costs. When you have super exotic materials that they're only making a small batch of, it's very expensive to produce.
$10 million for a motor. I think F1 is just a little, I don't know.
Well, I think that
I like
F1
it,
could be
but-
brought down in cost, but no one's bitching about. The teams aren't bitching about the costs.
No,
they're not crying about
hold
that.
on. They had to actually. It was such the Wild West that the F1 had to step in and put a cap on the money, because some companies would like Mercedes
and Ferrari.
They're like, listen, we don't. We have no budget.
Nope.
We just cannot get beat.
Right.
As Ferrari as a company, we cannot get beat by Mercedes or McLaren. No way.
And
so they would have $500 and $600 million budgets.
Yes.
And finally, F1 had to step in and say, I think the budget is $320 million.
Yes, and what they're trying to do is they limit testing. And so testing is very expensive. They limit the actual number of engines that can be used in a season. So by limiting all those things,
prior to that, it was no salary cap. That would be like Seth, if you're a general manager for a football team and you had no salary cap.
Be awesome.
Like none. You're like, I want to go out and get the best player at every position, and I don't care what it costs.
Kind of like baseball. That's
Kind of
what
like
baseball
when they
is.
like,
Yeah.
like remember when was it the Marlins kind of rented a team for the year?
Yeah, and they won the whole championship.
Yeah.
There was a time when they used to like change engines like between sessions just for the hell of it. From qualifying to the race, they put a brand new engine in.
Seth, are the Rays, are they trader? Are they for the trade deadline? Are they buyers? I mean, are they sellers? Are they heavy sellers?
I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the Rays this year.
No.
The Rays are kind of. Are
they looking at Rad? I don't know if Rad or anybody knows, but like, are they? As you get closer to the trade deadline in baseball, they do one of two things: either you're gonna gear up and maybe go get a player or two for the playoffs because you're in the playoffs, or you're in contention, or you fire sale and start a rejuve deal.
Yeah, the rumor is with Randy, they're probably going to trade off Randy, maybe
Randy
a couple of the pitchers. Yeah, Yanni Diaz might be on the trade block too. Get rid of those kind of bigger named guys we have.
The Siri guy, Jose Siri.
Yeah, he'll probably be up there. They'll probably start.
So at that point, if the Rays are doing that, that's a reload.
Yeah, I mean it's more of the same. It's what they've always done, but I think it's tough.
Yeah, but this is the
year because you're coming off of such an underwhelming season.
Yeah, I mean,
they have been average at best this year. They're just a bad team.
This is the first time in probably 15 years that we don't have a good team. We're usually better than this. Like for the last 10 years, we've never even been necessarily sellers for come trade deadline because we're right there in the thick of things.
They usually are, but they usually get much better value for these guys just because of how exciting of a team they are.
Yeah, they're playing. They usually know to pick and choose, or they got a guy in the minors that's coming up. You got to think about with the Rays, though.
Is Franco done?
Yeah.
Is he done?
Yeah.
Is he?
It's every time.
But
I'm just saying.
But you have to understand something,
Pulling
Bubba.
for the guy.
Bubba, the Rays right now.
Banged a 14-year-old.
Yeah,
that's tough
Bubba,
to
you're saying
defend.
how horrible the Rays are. They're 34-38 in the hardest division in baseball.
Meanwhile, I think I think like almost in every other division, they would be like a third place team or a second place team.
Exactly. And you never know because playing those opponents. I mean, that's the whole thing is the AL East is just so good. The Yankees are, and the Orioles are just battling it out.
Toronto and Tampa are the ass buckets right now, right? Baltimore, they've turned it around a little bit.
Baltimore's 47-24. They're in second place, a game and a half back of the Yankees, and then the Red Sox are 500. So I mean, the whole entire league.
Everybody's freaked out because this is the worst year we've had in like the last decade.
Yeah, we got a lot of injuries. I think we got 3 or 4 pitchers on the DL.
They ever get rid of that Tyler Glasgow?
Yeah, he's on the Dodgers.
Yeah, LA.
Oh, they got that. And the dude from Tampa is now the LA guy, the Stedman guy.
Friedman?
Yeah, Friedman.
Yeah.
Friedman. He pretty much kind of invented the way the Rays kind of diagnose and
he knows what he's doing.
He's kind of got his version of Billy Ball a little bit.
Ball.
Yeah, kind of.
What, the guy with the Dodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's to just get whoever free agents out there. That's how they build the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean when he went from the guy from the Dodgers, was it Stu Friedman? I don't know who it is.
Andrew Friedman.
Andrew Friedman. He was, the main. He was the main dude for the Rays, and behind the owner. He was the general manager. He made all the trades. He took, chicken salad. He took chicken shiz and made chicken salad every year through all these dynamics. He supposedly has some type of I don't know, some type of data and all kinds of different systems that he uses. And
here's the system: Shohei Ohtani, good; Mookie Betts, good; Freddie Freeman, good; Tyler Glasnow, good.
No.
Let's bring him to the team.
He used to have to make all those assumptions with crappy teams and no payroll. Once they took him and said, "Listen, buddy. What? Your payroll in Tampa was 94 million? Well, your payroll here is 394 million. So go get me some players under the way you do things, the algorithms and the statistics that you've used over the years when you've made, the least budgeted team in the league competitive." He's the one that turned the Rays around.
Yeah, he had a couple guys underneath him, though. He had a couple old school guys that would look at talent, and then he also had some analytics guys. And he picked some of those off, and they went to the Dodgers.
Yeah, but then a couple of his assistants then stuck around, did well with the Rays, and they got picked off. I think one went to Boston. I think one went to Atlanta.
Yeah, and I think one went to Minnesota.
Yeah.
With Rocco.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, Lummy, there's this. So we, when Saturday night when we go to the Rays game, to the Tampa Tarpons game, Seth throwing out the first pitch. We'll be there by try to get there by 6:30, 6:20. Try to get there by 6:20 so you can see Seth's first pitch.
Yes.
If not, we'll have it up on YouTube. But anyway, Lummy, our gimmick is, and it's endorsed by the team, but we kind of, and by the way, this is the team we're playing. We can start early.
They got this 6'7" Taiwanese guy.
I want to see what Chen Wei Lin look like. I mean, like Henry Gomez.
I think Chi Win Lin is the 6'7" pitcher.
Yeah,
6'7" pitcher.
Oh man, I don't want to make him
That's
so
scary.
mad. This guy right here, the Chen Win guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the team we're playing Saturday night. So Lummy, we need to get the Bubba Army, and everybody's going to be there working on some material for me. For all these dudes. I want to know, if, Randall Clemente, grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
So do you not want to go after Chen Wen Lee, the 6'7", 188 Taiwanese guy?
Yes, of course I want to go after
him. Do you know
him.
anyone that speaks Taiwanese? Dr. Dan, can you learn it in a couple of days?
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not?
Just get a Bluetooth speaker in the Google Translate.
If he speaks Taiwanese, he probably speaks Mandarin.
He knows American.
I could probably bring Bella.
They probably can't talk American, but they can understand American.
They can understand Mandarin, I bet.
So, Lumber, here's our people. So we're going to look at all these people front ways and back ways. But now I feel like maybe we shouldn't, because a really bad situation happened in the College World Series. And Texas A&M was playing the Florida Gators. And these two Texas A&M dudes, they start really heckling the Florida coach, saying some really, really bad stuff. Like, for instance, the Florida coach is currently married to a woman who she had to endure the fact that her husband killed both of their kids and himself.
Yeah, and burned the house down.
And she was the only surviving. She was the only survivor. And so these fans got into that.
Well,
her husband was a bat boy for Florida back in the day?
No.
Where did the bat boy part come in?
That was, so the Florida Gators head coach was, now this is supposed, he was sleeping with that guy's mom, the bat boy's mom.
All right, so hold on.
And his dad found out and killed the 2 kids and burned down the house and killed himself.
All right, so hold on. This was
all
right.
Quite the steamy situation.
All right, so
scandalous.
The Florida coach was blasting some other coach's wife.
No, supposedly the coach was banging the Batboy's mom.
Oh, that makes it. Oh,
the Batboy's dad found out.
All right, so hold on. So the coach. The Batboy's mom comes and picks him up from practice, and he got her all sized up.
Yes.
He starts blasting her. I'm assuming this is probably in the Gainesville area, correct?
Yes.
And
back in 2021.
2021, well, the Batboy's mom's husband finds out that she's blasting the Florida coach, and he goes and burns the house down and kills himself and the 2 kids, but she gets away.
Correct.
Now, are they still?
They're married now.
Oh, they did get married.
Yeah, they got married.
Well,
supposedly, they only started dating after all the kids were dead.
Anyway,
yeah, but he was already drilling her.
Allegedly,
the 2 hecklers got into both little boys' names, and started getting into that kind of stuff, and they were actually thrown out.
Those are your dudes, man. Those are your heckling dudes. There's no rules for heckling.
I mean,
you're either a heckler or you're not. These are your bros.
Heckling an opposing baseball team about a tragic death of their Batboy is beyond unacceptable. Glad officers and security threw this duo out of Charles Schwab Field. You're no longer welcomed in the city, and you should have been banned for life for all college World Series. Let me, maybe what if this is us, Sunday morning in the Tampa Tribune because we went too far.
I mean, they nailed the picture.
Wait a second. They're banned from a city? For words?
It says,
are you kidding me?
You're no longer welcome. Hold on now. Omaha Police Officers Association, which Dan, might have the ruling to, the whip to be able to make this. You're no longer welcome in this city. Can a city ban you?
No.
Yeah, but that's just an officers association. I don't think that's the sheriff's office or anything like that. I think it's the equivalent of a VFW.
I've been hated over my career, but I've never been banned from a city.
Banned from the city of Tampa?
Well, I kind of am.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Castor has no problem with it, probably.
I don't think
they've never put that in writing.
Here's the deal. I don't think that we're going to be near that. We're just going to be standard, like your mom.
I'm not teasing people about dead kids.
Yeah. So, Lummy, I was going to maybe potentially not heckle, but I think,
we got to go.
Gotta go, Bubba. Well, you're not going to be.
Seth, will you help me heckle, or does that give you anxiety?
No. I'll be sitting far away from that.
Yeah, he already requested his own section, the safe zone.
That's right. We're going to have the Seth zone, which is down on the third base line, closest to where we are. Lummy, can we get with our friends at the Tarpons and have some police tape, an actual roped off section?
Yeah, I think Seth higher Tuttle for security.
He prefers at least a 10-seat separation between him and the next person. Isn't that your
me?
right?
I'm
yeah.
good. I just don't. You guys just don't have to offer me any drugs that night.
Oh, you're talking about our listeners?
Yeah. You guys, I'm good. I'm good.
So you're saying you're a little intimidated by our listeners saying, "Hey, Seth, I got a gummy for you."
I'm still just a little shook from being offered mushrooms and oxys, and I just want to let everybody know that I'm good. You might think that I maybe need to take the edge off after the first pitch. Just know I'm good.
Know that you're self-medicated and you got yourself dialed in. You don't need any extra party favors.
I appreciate it so much that you want to get me feeling as good as you. I understand what you're trying to do. I'm just letting you guys know. Save the party for yourself. You want to give me something?
Give me cash.
Put it in my hand.
Yeah. Seth says no drugs, cash. Cash only.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Did I yell that?
Someone said, Milkman 47 said, hey, 13, you probably sleep with your socks on, Seth.
Let me know everything.
It was a quote.
No, that's
funny.
I'll see you for that.
Wasn't done last year. Yeah, that's not me, Steve. The guy in San Francisco.
Don't you hate on forks when the fucking they're crooked? The
That's the worst.
What's up, Aaron Griffin? No, Dave Carr. White iced tea. Yes, I do. Chase Ramsey. What's up? Kabuki Jones.
Are you coming?
If he's from Taiwan, he speaks Mandarin, and so bring Bella. She can heckle him Mandarin.
She speaks Mandarin too.
Yeah, she does.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Blitz PayPal account. Good morning. EJ Click, it's scary. Big, long, or thanks, Milkman 47. He likes Trump, doesn't he? Schnitt. I like it for ID now.
We've seen them in highways that cut through black neighborhoods, and the industries, of course, that flock to these neighborhoods, often contributing to increased pollution and poor health outcomes. We see it in the trauma, of course, that is caused by gun violence. But we also saw it firsthand with the gross disinvestment that was intentional by previous administrations. And so beautiful neighborhoods like mine, the Austin neighborhood, has seen many health disparities, the lack of nutritious food, the lack of employment opportunity. The disinvestment in our communities have been intentional. And of course, that's why it's imperative that it is now the time to deliver good on reparations for people of Chicago, particularly black people, the city of Chicago. Because even as I stand here today as mayor, the legacy of slavery, the aftermath, still echoes today. We saw it when previous administrations sold off public assets. We saw the harm when previous administrations closed black schools, and they shut down public housing, when they raided the pensions, these anti-black, anti-business endeavors that have caused tremendous harm and pain. But it's a new day. In fact, we are standing on the shoulders of one of the great leaders of this city, Dorothy Tillman, who laid the foundations and groundwork to ignite a movement for reparations.
No way,
It was Dorothy Tillman that introduced me to Dr. Claude Anderson, Black Labor, White Wealth. And it is why my administration is committed to driving reparations home. And we're going to invest $500,000 into the study of restoration and reparations.
Can I put it in my throat? Can I see why you fuck me from the back? I wanna know.
He's a world-class e-cyclist. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
everybody. Today's after show will be Clem Cush. We'll do that about 10:20. Because we want to be on, a few minutes, Zeth, before we have the great Phil Henry on at 10:30. We want to, we just want to start 1 minute. Next thing you know, with Phil, we'll get warmed up a little bit.
Yeah, just so people know, we're recording a podcast, so we're not doing like a live after show or anything. But I know a lot of people have trouble finding it.
Right,
but
so
they can watch on Locals, right?
Yes, they can.
It's the only place you can see it. Phil's going to zoom in. We're going to be recording Clem Cush, the podcast. Then Clem Cush, which it might not get released today. Seth may, tease you, may just give you the tip for a few days, and then give you the payoff for Clem Cush maybe Thursday, Friday. It's his own little world. He runs the podcasting deal. Wherever you get your podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Google Play, just type in The Bubba Army. Be a daily downloader. There's a lot of exclusive stuff in our podcasting world that you can't quite frankly, find anywhere else. It's exclusive. Let me look. Remember I was talking about those taps? Now look what's on TV.
The taps.
The performance taps. Look. Again, Blaze Pod. I just talked about it on the air. Now it's on my TV. You don't find that?
Oh, it's very suspicious. Very suspicious. They're listening to us all the time.
They got you tapped.
I think they are listening to us.
One of those 62 TVs
24/7.
I think they are listening to you at all times.
Said Alexa.
So, Lummy, I just wish this guy lived in Texas. Father of abused twin 6-year-old daughters over bedwetting. So father abused twin 6-year-old daughters over bedwetting. I guess he would beat them, that's not going to make
Doesn't help.
Doesn't help at all. Doesn't help at all. Anyway, he gets life in prison.
Good.
Because I think one of the girls died. So he gets life in prison, as he should. But I wish he was in
Tennessee.
In Tennessee. Because I've never heard of such a thing. Dan, if you get too heavy-handed in the penal phase, can you get overruled?
Yes.
I know that Chet Tharp, the great Chet Tharp of the 13th Circuit of Hillsborough, he was called oh my God. You were if you went in front of him, he's just was so heavy-handed. He wasn't really heavy-handed on dudes fighting or something like that. But if you touched a kid,
Dunzo.
Oh, if the state would recommend 18 years and he'd give him 36, and he got overturned a few times from the second DCA from being just way over the top.
You can't be excessive punishments. There can't be cruel and unusual punishment or excessive fines, which is the reason that some of these judgments against people, including the one against Alex Jones of $1 billion, and the one against Trump for $300 million. I mean, these are ridiculous.
Now, hold on,
absolutely ridiculous.
Supposedly they're taking Alex's Jones's stuff.
I know they are, and I think it's unconscionable that they're doing that because he said in his opinion, and they called that an injury, and then they did it for that volume of money. It's just ridiculous. Come on. Do you really think that his words and his opinion was that hurtful that it should have cost him almost $1 billion? Well,
I'll tell you
Come
this.
on. It's ridiculous in this country.
I do like this heavy-handedness. In Tennessee, starting next week in Tennessee, convicted child rapists will be sentenced to the death penalty. Now, is that a little much?
Yes.
It's not enough.
I think it's a little much.
I like it.
Yep.
Especially where only if, Lummy, they have the full-blown, it's 100% he did it. They got the DNA.
Proven everything.
They went and did the rape kit. Mm-hmm. The child's been looked at by a doctor. They have determined that the child was raped. If they got it all buttoned up, all the DNA, maybe some footage, I'm all about it.
Should be open season on those guys.
Yeah.
Don't these guys get murdered in jail anyway?
A lot of them get hurt in jail.
A lot of them do. Yeah.
So is it better just for better for the state to do it?
Yeah, a little more sanctioned, right?
Yeah.
More expensive.
way more expensive because he's going to go through 45 appeals before he probably won't even die in our lifetime.
14, 15
but Seth,
years.
if you had these dudes that were really bad dudes, right? Really bad dudes, and you just sent all, pee-pee touchers and child molesters to go in this one particular prison with some real bad dudes that you've kind of set that like to kill people.
Okay.
Be like, hey, I just want to let you know, tomorrow noon to 12 to 12:15, we'll be changing out guards in the field while you guys are out there in the yard.
You've seen too many movies.
And
but that's funny. It's fun to joke about, but it's disgusting.
Hold on.
That can even happen.
Jeffrey Dahmer got killed in a jailhouse setup where this African American dude was in for life, and I think Jeffrey Dahmer may have touched one of his family members or somebody that he knew. He paid off a guard or told a guard not to be into the gym, the workout gym area between this 15-minute period while they were switching out guards, knowing that Dahmer had to mop that area because that was what his job was, and he gave Jeffrey Dahmer the straight bar, the 50-pound straight bar rectally. Killed him through a barbell, a rectal barbell.
Is that true? Because that's what I remember hearing.
I think they beat him, and then they also sodomized him. I think it was a combination.
Was it with the broomstick? Or
I thought it was with the mop stick. Yeah.
Okay.
But whatever it was violent.
I think they hit him over the head with the barbell, and then they broomsticked him.
Right. I think it was something like that.
And Seth, you're right at that point, man. If your guy's going to get hit in the head with a barbell and broomsticked, why not we just put some TT99 juice through his veins and call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm okay with these guys killing one another in prison and going at it.
Oh, I think
I'm
that
not.
would be. Well,
I'm not. Either sentence him to death or sentence him to life in jail. But having just anarchy within the jail, I don't think is appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate. I hate the way jails are done. I just think it's just a disgusting thing. We have over jailed a lot of people. I work for the Innocence Project, and we get people that were actually not guilty, actually innocent, but in jail for 10, 15, 25 years out of jail. That's shameful because these prosecutors and the DA's office are so narcissistic they won't admit that they're wrong sometimes, and they railroad people through jail. And you see it. You see it happening to a former president of the United States. People are overcharged, over-convicted, and over-penalized on a regular basis. And if you're black or you're poor or you said something wrong in the public and the public goes after you, you're doomed. And then when you're in jail, you're screwed because you have no protection. And so there's a lot of people in jail that get hurt in jail that should never frickin' be there. So, I mean, I'm sorry. I know this is kind of contrary to what we think and what you think I am as like the MAGA Captain, sucking Trump's D.
Captain sucking Trump's D. Say it.
But I think that Americans, like I said, are overcharged, oversentenced, and have no safety in jail.
Here's my boy right here. Maryland Governor Wes Moore issues a mass pardon of over 175,000 marijuana convictions. So he, in Maryland has seen, a lot of men incarcerated for marijuana that now you can just recreationally buy in Maryland. And he's like, I'm not gonna let a guy that, got sentenced to a marijuana charge 6 months before we went legal and is doing 10 years. Screw that. So he did a massive 175,000 people that had a marijuana conviction. He said, out.
This guy making a move to be president one day or something?
I don't know. You should be.
Because Wes Moore, I'm going to remember the name.
I'm going to remember the act and the name, Wes Moore. Kick-ass mother effer. Tell you that right now.
So you think marijuana should be legal, recreational marijuana should be legal in Florida, guys?
Yeah, I do.
But do you think it's cool to just smoke it in public everywhere? So every time you go to church, the pier, a movie, anything you do with your family, all you do is smell pot like in Times Square?
Well, you mean or cigarettes?
It's hard to smoke a cigarette at like the amphitheater or at the sundial or at any function because they won't let you.
I think recreational marijuana people should have the same rules as cigarettes. There's designated smoking areas for it, and yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they have the same rules as
Is it
cigarettes.
like smoking around like your kids and stuff, Dan? And then you got to explain it's weed and all this?
Well,
Is that...
here's the example. I went to New York last summer, and I'm pro marijuana. I think marijuana has been over vilified and over criminalized, and I'm glad that the world is softening up on it, except Russia. But we shouldn't have it just thrown in people's faces just because it's legal. It's like, just because you can take your shirt off as a guy doesn't mean that every guy should take their shirt off everywhere they go all the time. And when I was at Times Square,
coming from a guy that can take his shirt off anytime.
Well, and I try to exercise some discretion, but it's different though when you're with your family and you're walking around a nice area like in New York, like Times Square, and there's nice stores, there's shows, there's really nice hotels, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And all you do is smell pot. It's everywhere. It's like there's like a cloud over Times Square of everybody smoking weed. And I think it's kind of gross. And I don't mind the smell of marijuana, but it's gross when it's everywhere in public in front of all the kids and all the time. It's just disgusting.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about it because I think it's getting passed.
Oh, it's getting passed here. And every time, every state that gets it medical becomes recreational.
Abortion and weed. Woo!
And guns.
Abortion, weed, guns. Woo! I'm all for it.
So, Dan, are you voting against legalizing it?
No, I don't have a problem with it legalized. I just think that people have no personal responsibility to just be a little discreet.
Well, Dan, I think New York is a trash box just from my one time there, but I don't feel like from being in a couple of cities where it's fully legal, whether it's Chicago, Denver, stuff like that, you really it's tough to see a lot of people walking around getting high.
Yeah,
even in those cities.
And if they just listen to adopt,
you mean it's tough to see? Like you don't see it, or it's hard to.
No, like you don't. Like you, I didn't see it. Like, and I'm not saying just because I didn't see it, it doesn't exist. But it's not everybody walking around, getting high.
Well, I didn't feel that way in California, but I did feel that way in New York, and specifically in Manhattan. I just felt like it was pot. Everywhere I went, I could only smell pot. And the other thing is,
let me $25 from Fish on the J for getting ready for Clem Kush with the Phil Henry kicker.
There's more medical marijuana stores in Tampa than there are 7-Elevens. I mean, it's like literally like every block there's another
dispensary. About time we're coming
dispensary.
cool. About time we're getting cool.
It tells you everything that we need to know.
So now it seems like everything's a deep fake now.
Yes.
Everything. That's what they're going to go with now. All the stumbling and bumbling that you see of Joe Biden, yes, some probably is AI and computer guy generated. Joe certainly gives them the material to make him look like a buffoon. But now the White House is doubling down on this, and they're going to say that any Joe Biden footage that you see or any comparisons of now the latest, have you seen the latest is kind of like he's had plastic surgery and they're analyzing like his jawline and his cleft chin and all this kind of deal. And they're saying that he's had a lot of plastic surgery done.
Well, as a plastic surgeon, he has one of the telltale signs of a facelift, and that's the pixie ear. If you notice, he used to have an earlobe, but now the earlobe is being pulled down by his cheek skin, especially on the right side of his face. It's classic facelift telltale.
So Dan, who does this for a living, says, on the stuff that he's seen is not deep fake AI, but the White House now, Lummy, they're going to go with Joe is perfectly fine. Anything that you see of Joe, of him not looking so cool, that's a deep fake.
Yes.
That's a deep fake.
It tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here.
So if you're a Republican and you accentuate how old Joe's becoming or how his dexterity and his movements, and sometimes he'll just be looking out in like completely opposite direction. Sometimes it looks like he's pooping his pants. All of that is a deep fake deal. Joe's fine.
And instead of talking about the president's performance in office, and what I mean by that is his legislative wins, what he's been able to do for the American people across the country.
What? Just don't tell me he's had some legislative wins. Why don't you roll them out for me? Listen, I'm all ears, and I'm being respectful. Tell me,
We're seeing these deep fakes, these manipulated videos, and it is, again, done in bad faith.
So that's what they're going to go with. That's kind of, in my opinion,
a manipulated video.
That's
done
kind
in
of
bad
like
faith.
that's kind of like what their new deal is.
Was it a deep fake, that picture with Julia Roberts? Because I took myself to Pound Town to that picture.
Really?
She looks great, man.
She does.
It's first of
George
all,
Clooney.
First of all,
he's
him
hot.
looking over at the paratroopers was misleading. That wasn't really him being a fool.
This one here.
Yeah, and so I think. I mean, there's people over there. There's other people looking in that direction. And he's congratulating them.
I'm wondering if
He's like, "Good job,
the White House
guys."
is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a.
See, there's people there. He's not talking
Yeah,
to the, to,
and
to
I
the
think
wind.
you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem.
I mean, now listen. I mean, if you watch the footage, it looks like, is that Hunter or is that
Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Kimmel.
It's Jimmy Kimmel,
But who's it not?
Obama,
Okay,
and
so it looks
Biden.
like, so at one time, I mean, I don't think you fake this, but it looks like Joe's just kind of standing there, and you see, the great Barack Obama take his hand and kind of try to lead Joe a little bit. I don't know how that's a cheap fake.
The
Watch.
When critics of the president have a
Come on,
credibility
Muffy.
problem,
Come on, Muffy.
because of the fact checkers have repeatedly.
Now, I don't. This is not fake. Barack Obama is leading Joe back down the steps and where they need to go. Obviously, Barack Obama, of great mind, he
was smooth doing it.
He's smooth. Period. Like he was. Yeah, you're right though. But he did his best not to make Joe like you were coming to get your dad, and he stayed a little too long, and it's time to put him down.
Yeah.
Watch.
Credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so
see. Look at it now. See, Barack Obama, man, that guy's rolling good, got a good gait. Looks like he's coherent. He knows his surroundings. Doesn't it look like to me that Barack is kind of leading Joe where they need to go?
Absolutely.
All right.
And so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. And I'll quote the Washington Post, where they wrote about this, and they said how
that's Barack doing a guy a solid.
Can use misleading videos.
How well would Joe have done had Barack Obama, went a little ahead?
He'd still be wandering on that stage today.
Exactly.
Attack Biden in a 24-hour period. And to their credit, we have a conservative Washington Examiner.
Now is this fake?
Oh, that's where they go head to head.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like you're using these. The White House are using these examples that are not fake. So Joe needed to be led off stage by Barack Obama. That's not fake.
Yeah.
And then when the president Joe Biden most recently saw the Pope, he did this real strange
Is this a religious greeting, like a head-to-head thing?
I've never done a head-to-head with a priest or a bishop or anything like that. It's kind of weird. I think it's weird touching.
Let me text. I'm sorry. Google or Bing. Is it a tradition to touch heads with the Pope? Right?
You kiss his ring. You don't touch his freaking head.
I think I don't know. Do you headbutt the Pope?
You kneel down, you kiss his ring, and you move on.
Is it a new deal?
I think you're only allowed to touch him below the neck.
Period. And to their credit, we have a conservative Washington Examiner did call them out as well, calling out the New York Post. Ironically, several.
Hey, listen, old girl, that footage is not doctored or fake. It's real, and it doesn't look so good for Joe.
Several recent cheap fakes actually attacked the president for thanking troops. That is what they're attacking the president for. Both in Normandy, this happened, and again in Italy.
Well, Normandy was a disaster for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it tells you everything that we need to know about how desperate Republicans are here. And instead of talking about the president's performance.
I mean, they're making a big deal about this because it's not really that big a deal, but they want to make a big deal about it because it's their only way to really defend Joe's senileness is to go ahead and reverse the heat on the opposing party, say that they're deep faking it, and it just shows you how pathetic they are, when actuality, you're just trying to play defense at this point because your candidate is just, you guys have not put him in the most, the best situations. I mean, the guy's old as hell. He doesn't know where the hell he's at. He's not present.
In office, and
you
what
think
I
it's
mean
hard
by
for her
that
to
is
get
it's-
sexy, Bubba? Like, she's got such a job that's so stressful and all this nonsense. Like, I don't know if there's a man in her life, but I mean,
she's a lesbian. I think she's married.
But so when she's scissoring with her girl,
I feel like she would have a headache every night.
Well, that or you'd have to talk her into it.
Yeah,
because she's just naturally, poor thing's on defense the entire time.
I mean, like, it's so much work to have to turn her on. Man.
Well, all she does is read from a book, so she probably reads.
Let me is this more of her right here? Let me is this more of her?
Desperate.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing we already heard.
Republicans
on the
are
deep
here.
fakes.
Yeah, how desperate.
So she says cheap fake and deep fake a lot.
going
She
on,
kind of
man?
interchanges the two terms. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. I mean, to each its own. Cheap.
I think he's just doing it on purpose as a jab.
Did you guys see this? This is the whole Caitlyn. This was, I thought, pretty funny. Some dude playing both roles of the WNBA phenomenon. Actually, I think it's pretty stupid. I probably shouldn't do it.
Oh, well, now.
No, you have to.
How about that?
How about a little taste? Does you think it's
come
stupid?
on. I
okay.
see it.
Okay, Seth, let me just say this, that I think that this is stupid. What? And upon further review, I was going to skip this and not play it, okay? So give me that credit, because I was prepared to skip this, move on, go into some stop sets, and come back with some more new stuff.
Okay.
But
when was this funny? Yesterday?
Maybe, perhaps. Hold on.
What's going on, man? Oh, nothing. Just watching the WNBA. Oh, nice. Is Caitlin Clark playing? No. There's other people in the league other than Caitlin Clark, right? I know. She's just really fun to watch. Yeah, but would you be watching if she wasn't in the league? Honestly, no. Then why are you watching now? Because she's playing a style of basketball that no one's seen in this league. She's not the reason that all these viewers are coming in. Then why does she have all the most watched games of the season? Why are you even talking about the WNBA? You should just go back to not watching. Weren't you just complaining about viewership last year? You want to make more people tune in to the WNBA. Yeah, but not if this is what it's going to be like. So you are upset because all these new fans are coming in and talking about the new player that brought them to watch this league. Yeah, because why weren't they here watching the whole time? Maybe because...
And by the way, that's the way these chicks of the WNBA are
wired.
Well, that's how it's going right now.
It wasn't as fun to watch as it is when Caitlin Clark is playing. But it's not because of just Caitlin Clark. You know who was top 5 in highlights watched across the NBA this season? Oh my gosh. Who? Victor Wembanyama. Well, yeah, that's because he's doing stuff that the NBA has never seen before. But he's on one of the worst teams in the league. It doesn't matter. All these people tuned in to watch him. That is exactly my point with Caitlin Clark. You know what? You're just sexist. What are you talking about?
I mean, that's kind of how it's going nowadays.
Yeah, just like Victor.
So please, no, Seth, that I was going to not play that.
No, it's fine. No, that was hilarious.
Oh, it's funny, Bubba.
And instead, I was going to come back with the mayor of Chicago wants to blame anybody but himself as to, did you see Lummy last weekend during Father's Day weekend? I think there was 47
shootings.
People shot in Dallas. I'm sorry, there was 47 shootings in Chicago last weekend during Father's Day. Nobody reported that though, did they? This guy here, this mayor that I'm the mayor of Chicago that I'm going to listen to next time out, coming back from the stop set, he doesn't want to blame anything with regards to his leadership. You think Grady Judd, if he was the mayor of Chicago or the police chief of Chicago, would be having 47 shootings?
No.
No, it's all about who the mayor is, and if the mayor is a Democrat, Seattle, San Francisco, L.A., Minneapolis, Detroit, Indianapolis, Philadelphia, New York City, Atlanta, all these places, all these urban places that have Democratic mayors, you notice how they're the ones that are having all the problems with regards to immigrants and to crime into all of that. Meanwhile, the Republican, led cities, for the most part, who allow their police officers to actually arrest people, go to Lakeland and go rob a Wawa or a 7-Eleven. Like, just go ahead and run like they do in California, how they just run in and start grabbing, all kinds of things and then run out because the cops, will not even write you a ticket or arrest you if it's under $1,000. Meanwhile, steal a pack of bubble gum in Polk County and you're going to be eating dirt in handcuffs, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Not in San Francisco, not in New York. And this mayor of Chicago wants to start giving away $500,000 to African Americans for reparations.
Well, he's spending $500,000 to study to make sure that they might need it.
You're right. I'm sorry. He's spending $500,000 on a study to study potential reparations in the city of Chicago. Meanwhile, why don't you spend $500,000 on some more cops that can stop some of these 47 people getting shot over the weekend? Oh, no. God forbid we do that. I'll do that next. Hold on.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Seth, did you see that song? My new favorite song?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
My guts, can I put it in my throat? Can I see why you fuck me from the back? I wanna know. Do your deep, hang low. Do that deep, hang low. If you do, I want some more. Do it still?
What if Phoebe was singing the song when you walked in?
I'd probably divorce her.
Do that deep, hang low. Calling all the big niggas to the floor. I wanna see them. If that dick don't pass the ball, I swear that I don't care to meet them. Pussy fat just like a bitch with diabetes. Put this good shit in his life, I promise you, he never leaving. Do it hang low or not. If it don't, he can't go far. I'm a nasty bitch, I fuck outside on the balcony of the car.
I'm a nasty bitch, I fuck outside.
This is why people hate rap, and this is the fucking worst fucking version of it.
I know.
I just wanna know if it hang low like nigga let me.
I wish I could play
She's
it
kind
on
of
there.
pretty.
Do that dick, hang low. If you do, I want some more. Can you shove it in my gut? Can I put it
I mean,
in
she's
my
a
throat?
skank,
Can
but
I
she's
see
kinda
why you
cute.
fuck me from the back? I wanna know. Do your dick, hang low.
Do your dick hang low.
Oh, goodness.
Mommy?
Goodness.
He's not in here.
Oh.
You know my answer.
Shut up, Dan. Oh, Seth, did you see this one? The girl with no legs?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a crowd favorite too.
That's a deep fake.
Is it?
I don't know, man.
Is that what you're going with though?
I don't know, dude. I don't believe anything that Don Lucree fucking tweets.
Now, is the first June 27th? Okay, so that's next week. The debate next Thursday, I think.
Thursday or Friday? Yeah, Thursday probably.
Should we do a watch party?
What time is it? Do we know what time it is?
It's gonna be in the evening late. Probably 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just fucking suck it up and do it, Kyle.
No, you're fine. I mean, I think it would be cool.
Oh, look at that right there. Look at that traffic.
That's in Orlando.
I know.
No. So that
I think it would actually do. I think it would actually be big.
To watch the debate. Live?
Yeah, to do like a science theater 2000 where we are commentating. I don't think we could probably show it, Seth, but we could commentate on it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What up, Berto?
Do your dick hang low?
No.
Dark match, that's funny. That's funny. That should be shown.
What's up, Brian? What's up, Lunger? What's up, Trooper Libs?
Like Alex Jones's kids are not going to have to pay that. Are they? No. So why should the children of alleged slave owners be forced to pay the children of alleged slaves? It'd be hard to prove that your ancestors were.
What up,
I just sent
DDP?
you a text. Did you open it? I'm trying to. All the reparations we've been paying for the last 250 years.
He went from strip clubs and mansions to golf carts and pickleball. Welcome back to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Whoa, way hot. My bad. Let me, people, please go out and to, what is it? Tarpons dot BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Yes.
Or I think you can probably, I think on our Facebook, it's like the opening story. I think we got several different links for people to be able to go buy tickets for this Saturday's Tampa Tarpons game. Watch Seth throw out the first pitch. My mom's going to be there. My sister's going to be there. Dr. Dan's going to be there. Ashley's going to be there. Lil Walker's going to be there. Rat. It'll be great. So please, and I think we're over 100.
Yes, we are.
I think we're over 100. So thanks for everybody that's coming. And if it does rain, we can go inside.
Yes, we can.
Unlike our Juneteenth celebration. God, I just had like a absolute pit in my stomach all weekend long because it was like, oh my God, it was so destructive. Just that rain, that torrential hurricane, like 15 minutes of rain. We could not have timed it any worse, and it was going to be a huge deal. And I love Craig, and I love Rio. And you know what? When things settle down, after we efficiently do the cash cube so that we know that it works, we still, you know what, Lummy? We still don't know that it works.
No. We've never got anyone outside of here to test it.
Right. So, and we may have blown 2 motors, but Macho Man's on it. But water just wreaked havoc. I think the TV's okay. Lummy, have you checked the TV yet?
The TV's fine.
TV's fine?
Got that out of there quick.
All right,
Didn't
good.
get wet.
Here's the mayor of Chicago. And, again, please try to keep in mind, if you could, please, that just this past weekend, Father's Day weekend, you'd think the fine African Americans of downtown Chicago would appreciate Father's Day a little bit more. And it wouldn't be this was an exceptionally high weekend. Don't they average like usually 30? And I think 47 shootings this past weekend.
43, technically.
They average, it was 43?
Yes.
And what do they usually average?
It's usually about 36, and it looks like there's been 213 so far this year that have been killed.
How many of the...
213 that have been killed.
Correct.
I see that you're sucking on your protein shake there. Dan ordered them in, huh?
Yes,
quietly.
sir. Quietly.
Didn't offer me one.
Because you always say no, and I was trying to be quiet and not disruptive and not be the tease.
It's tough when Lummy's over there just sucking the hell out of it when we're on the air. In between talk breaks, Lummy's just sucking it right on down to 0. Are you not, Lummy?
I'm sorry, that was my first sip. Sorry.
Sorry, that was my first sip.
So,
I don't care. You guys protein shake it all you
I'll
want.
invite you for Flapjack Friday.
No, I'm good, buddy.
It's Friday.
I'm good.
3 days to think about it.
Here's what I don't understand, man. Dear Mayor, why don't you get some really... Why don't you let your cops probably be the kick-ass cops that they want to be? But they probably have so many orders, and the cop and maybe the police department within Chicago has been defunded. I know the mayor of San Francisco, when she first came in, she vowed to defund the police. Now, regardless of what political affiliation you are, don't you think defunding the police is probably not a good idea?
I sent you that website that keeps up on Chicago's shooting stats. Hey, Jackass.
Hey, I'm going to defund the police. The people that keep my city safe and from the bad guys acting up and making the city unpleasant, I'm going to go ahead and not cut their budget. Maybe give them a little more money. God, this is way over. This is way a lot of information.
Yeah, year to date.
So what? So a person is shot every 3 minutes and 15 seconds in Chicago.
No, 3 hours and 15.
I'm sorry, 3 minutes. A person is shot in Chicago every 3 hours and 15 minutes, and a person is murdered every 16 hours and 24 minutes.
Do you have the racial breakdown of the shooters and the shootees, the victims and the perpetrators?
I think they probably would. If you know where to look here, it's just that this is okay. Here we go.
They
right
do,
here,
yeah.
Right here we go. So it looks like of the people shot or killed, all the years counted through date show at the bottom of the table. Fatal rate is total people fatally shot. And okay, so this right here.
That's the race one, yeah.
Yes.
This shows you this is the people that have died. 78% are black, 18.9% are Hispanic, and 2.3% are white or other.
Now that's the victims. Now look at there's a chart underneath it, Bubba, and look at the right side of the chart. There's race.
Over here?
No, right where you were. Go down about an inch. Right there. On the left, it says race. On the right, it says victim. And to the right of that, it says assailant. So, in the black, it says there was 100, I can't read it, it's too far away.
171.
171 victims. And how many of them were the assailant?
26.
26. And then Hispanic, it says victim.
41.
Assailant?
4.
Okay, and then white.
5.
Victims.
0.
0 assailants. So not one white person has shot anyone in Chicago yet this year. Right? That's what that chart says.
Yeah, that they know of, but yeah.
I just wanted to double check I was reading it correctly. I want to make sure my eyes aren't lying to me.
The mayor wants to say that...
There's been 2 police shootings, just so you know.
Chicago still bears the scars of systemic racism and injustices that have been inflicted on our communities.
By African Americans.
It seems to be.
We've seen them in highways that cut through black neighborhoods and the industries, of course, that flock to these neighborhoods, often contributing to increased pollution and poor health outcomes. We see it in the trauma.
So you're blaming the highway system that's cut through various neighborhoods? That's the problem?
I-275 cut through my neighborhood as a kid. I lived up in 21st Street and like 69th Avenue, and 275 was like right up behind us. It killed the woods. It went right through our neighborhood.
Of course, that is caused by gun violence. But we also saw it firsthand with the gross disinvestment that was intentional by previous administrations.
By the way, previous African American administrations. I don't know the last time that Chicago had a white mayor or other than African American mayor.
Yeah, it was. It was Rahm Emanuel. Yeah.
Mayor Daley, too.
And so
Daley, I think, was the old school.
Yeah.
Beautiful neighborhoods like mine, the Austin neighborhood, has seen many health disparities.
People don't get shot based on health disparities, okay?
Nope.
The lack of nutritious food, the lack of employment opportunity, the disinvestment in our communities have been intentional. And of course, that's why it's imperative that it is now the time to deliver good.
Man, if I was a mayor of Chicago, I'd be like, you know what? It is time for us to stop shooting each other, and it's a time for us to start to, try to heal from all the damage and all the. I mean, there's 312 people that have been killed in the city of Chicago this fiscal year. That's 312 moms. That's 312 dads. That's grandmas and grandpas, and it just hate breeds hate. And so now, when your 24-year-old brother went out and got shot, and he wasn't doing anything wrong, but got shot and killed this weekend in Chicago. What does that make you do? That makes your family want to hate. I mean, right? I mean, it doesn't make your family want. It doesn't make your family want to forgive and heal. It makes you want to hate.
Yeah.
Do you know who the last Republican mayor of Chicago was?
When?
1931.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's the last one.
I need to be the mayor of Chicago immediately as a Republican.
Bubba, I
could fix it.
This would solve the whole problem, and we know what the recipe is for success. We know that if you do well in school, if you stay out of trouble, if you have parents that are involved and loving and attentive and paying attention to what you're doing, if you have hope, if you have a path to success, then your chances are that you will be successful.
But that starts with parenting, and the African American parenting core is so splintered to the fact that that Latin sons, our guys, Craig and Rio, they're starting a thing called Father. I think it's Dad Saturdays or Father Saturdays, where they encourage dads of the African American community to bring your son in on Saturday. You get a deep discount if you bring your son, or your dad brings you to Latin Sons on Saturday, trying to promote
some bonding.
Yes.
So
because that's the problem in the community.
I agree that is 80% of the problem. The American government disincentivized black families staying together by giving single black moms more money. They get less money if they're married, or they don't get money if they're married. It disincentivized the marriage in the urban black communities. But here's the other problem. America, the media, the entertainment business does no justice by not encouraging black kids to do well in school. It's not cool for a black kid to do well in school. In fact, it's ridiculed if a black kid does well in school. They get harassed by their friends. They get bullied. They get beaten up. And so it's not cool if you're a young black kid to have a dream of going, I want to go to college and be an accountant. That's not a championed dream. Whereas in a typical neighborhood that I grew up in, if you wanted to graduate high school, do well, go to college, get a job, work your ass off, be accountable, you succeeded. That was a recipe for success. Reagan said it. Work hard, study hard, and you'll do well. And that's what we were taught as children.
That's what we need. We need rapping Ronnie Reagan back.
But that philosophy is not popularized.
Dig Ronnie. Listen, you could dig Ronnie up, and he'd probably be on the same level of what Joe is right now. If you dig rapping Ronnie up. Hold on, stand by.
On reparations.
Oh, it gets worse. I mean, it gets more comical.
Do you think this looks like a black Shannon Burke?
Kind of does.
This dude?
Yeah, the mayor. I can't stop. Can't stop picturing it.
A little bit. Yeah.
Chicago, particularly black people, the city of Chicago.
Hold on. You're an African American. You're the head of the government of Chicago. Chicago's mayor is a strong mayor, which means they elect the police chief. They run the city. And so you're saying that the city of Chicago needs to do a better job taking care of African Americans when you're the head of the city. You're the top dog of the city.
The black people, the city of Chicago.
You are the city of Chicago.
Because even as I stand here today as mayor, the legacy of slavery and the aftermath still echoes today. We saw it.
Hold on. Something that's been illegal since 1865 or so is now still having effects in the city of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody in the city of Chicago that was a slave. There's nobody in the city of Chicago that owned a slave. And there's nobody's family in their immediate 5 generations, maybe 6, that owned a slave.
were a slave.
In actuality, I saw a statistic that when slavery was legal in America, less than 3% of the population owned slaves. It was like 2.8% owned slaves. Not validating slavery, just giving you the stats.
The aftermath still echoes today. We saw it.
When are we going to let go of the slave card?
So, Bubba, so do you think that Alex Jones's great-great-great-grandchildren should be having to pay his fines?
No.
So say his whatever, I don't remember, but what did he get? What did he get? Like $600 million or something like that?
No. He was in the billions.
Alex Jones was in the billions.
Yes.
Okay. So he'll never be able to pay that.
Let me look it up.
He'll never be able to pay that. So should his kids have to pay it? Should his grandchildren? Should his great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren have to pay that to the great-great-great-children of the...
I don't know how that's all. I mean, you know how that's been...
It's ridiculous.
$965 million.
So $1 billion.
$1 billion. $1
billion.
When previous administrations sold off public assets, we saw the harm when previous administrations closed black schools and they shut down public housing, when they raided the pensions, these anti-black, anti-business endeavors that have caused tremendous harm and pain. But it's a new day. In fact, we are standing on the shoulders of one of the great leaders of this city, Dorothy Tillman, who laid the foundation and the groundwork to ignite a movement for reparations.
It was got a Ric Flair type pop on that deal.
Dorothy Tillman that introduced me to Dr. Claude Anderson, Black Labor, White Wealth. And it is why my administration is committed to driving reparations home. And we're going to invest $500,000 into the study of restoration and reparations for the city of Chicago.
Ask California and specifically San Francisco how their study has gone.
So that we can begin to move in the direction of complete liberation. And that's why with the help and the...
Do the fine people of Chicago, regardless of what race you are, realize that if you were to pass a reparations bill, that you're paying for it? You people of Chicago and Cook County and the state of Illinois, you're going to pay for it. If you're going to hand out however many tens of thousands of dollars to every qualifying African American who can prove that. And secondly, let's not forget that I don't know that Illinois. I think Illinois was a union. I think Illinois was union, and so slavery wasn't even I don't think slavery was legal in Illinois.
Well, Illinois wasn't one of the original 13 colonies.
I know that.
And most of the northern colonies that expanded did not have slavery.
Right. So what I'm saying is, like,
I don't know how much slavery was in Illinois.
Anybody in Chicago.
It was legal for 30 years.
Where?
In Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Or Illinois.
All right, well.
30 years.
Well, let's track down the descendants of these people. Or no, let's not, because we don't have anything to do with it.
Well, I mean did Germany pay the Jews they killed?
What's that?
Did Germany pay all the Jews' families that they killed?
No, but they should have.
And it looks like the Underground Railroad pretty much ended up in Chicago. So, because it looks like Chicago was a
major slave port.
No,
a safe haven.
A safe haven for slaves.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Port of the Black
Sanctuary
Caucus,
City.
we have a brand new Office of Reentry. Added $5 million to make sure that the formerly incarcerated find jobs and housing and counseling and the full support that they need.
That's all great, but how many shootings did you have this past weekend in Chicago? 47 shots. So Seth, when I was going to play this legless girl on a boat, is apparently this a fake?
No,
it's not a fake. There's a picture of her on our thing.
I said it was just
because you think it's disturbing.
It's not great.
What happened?
I just saw this and I thought I retweeted it.
So this is on our Twitter. Don't forget to go to our Twitter, which is at the Bubba Army. And this is like, Matt Heller's got his boat out with some hotties, and one of those hotties happens to have no legs, and she likes to twerk. She's a no leg twerker.
Yeah.
Hold on, yeah. I don't think I can play the sound, Lummy.
Nope.
But I think I can just play the video, and there she is. there. I mean, she's twerking.
Wow.
Right. And I mean, I like her enthusiasm. Look at that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of a comic I saw in Hustler magazine once as a kid. It was a guy's laying next to a torso. She had no arms, no legs, no head. And he said, finally, a woman I can relate to.
The C Morning Zoo on Z100.
I'll take it proudly.
This was back when Joe, Joe, at one time, Joe was smooth as hell. Joe Biden was smooth as hell, man. And he talks, I think this is when George H. Herbert Bush debated Ross Perot and Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton completely just mopped the floor with everybody because he was so charismatic. And Ross was just a dumb farmer, and George H. was just, read my lips, no new taxes. He was stupid too. And Bill Clinton rolls up in there. He can play the saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show. He may not have been your political affiliation, but he was far more cooler than Ross Perot and George Sr. Yeah. Was he not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Senator Biden. How are you? Skip Lumberg from the 90s. Hey,
this is from exactly 30 years ago, which makes me wonder, Dan, if 30 years from now when I'm, 88, well, I don't think I'm going to be around.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I don't think I will be. I think I'm going to die at 80. I think that's my number, 80. I think so. What do you think? Let me now realize that bigger guys, it's harder on your heart.
Yeah.
Bigger guys usually die a little sooner.
Jeez, man.
It's like big dogs.
It is.
They don't last as long.
Yeah, like a little toy poodle. That little bitch will live to be 21.
Yep.
Cocker Spaniel lived to be about 17. But you get like a bulldog, he's going to live to be about 9.
Great Dane,
10.
8, 10. Yeah.
Yeah, take 10s on the. I've owned like 5 bulldogs over my life, and like the longest one went 11, and that was that was lucky. But those little chihuahua, those little ankle biting mother effers, they'll live to be well over 20. How old was Alex that licked the frog? She was like 17, wasn't she?
She was like 16, probably.
Yeah, Pookie was
17.
Pookie was 17.
Yeah.
Blind with kidney failure. So, Dan, how old do you think you're gonna? You think you're gonna be 90 plus?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna live to be 103.
The average age for a male is 73.
Yeah, it's on my average. Do you think I'm 15 away from dying?
No.
Yep, how are you? Nice to see you. How you doing?
Look at Joe, man. Smooth as hell.
Yeah, nice cap.
Smooth as hell, Disco Joe.
Good. So, you sorry you weren't up there yourself, or you were relieved? Oh, I couldn't have done as well as Clinton by a long shot. He did a first-rate job tonight. I think if someone had had amnesia the last 4 years and came back and tuned this in, they'd assume it was a 2-person race, Clinton and Perot. I mean, I was dumbfounded. The president, he wasn't even in it. I mean, he didn't get it.
Now, isn't that somewhat prophetic in the fact that now, that guy's you? The guy that doesn't get it, and, although the debate has already been laid, I think it's, not this Thursday, but next?
The 27th, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. What's the big difference? The fundamental difference is you got a guy who still is stuck in the past in everything. I mean, what skills he had as a leader in the Cold War are irrelevant. Here's a guy saying keep 150,000 troops in Europe, but don't go near Bosnia. Well, what the hell are they there for?
Man, I want that guy.
I mean,
this guy right here rocks.
There's no Soviet Union. There's no threat. I happen to believe we should keep troops in Europe. I think 100,000 is more than enough for pre-positioning purposes. But, I mean, he has no clue. And I thought the best one was trying to convince American people it's not an economic problem. Yeah, right. That was good.
You can either agree or disagree with him, but here he's at least quick and clever.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's just,
hold on here.
They look like 2 different people.
Let me,
don't they?
Now, is this what everybody's talking about now?
Different hairlines.
So they're looking at 750. Is this
1 year ago? 2 years ago.
Is this what the White House and the African American Raggedy Ann is saying?
It's one of them. Yeah, it's one of
these are deep fakes.
Yeah, that's one of the many items.
So that's these are 10 days apart in 2022, and on 7/15/2022 he looked like the way he did in the far left, and then on 7/25/22 he looked like he did straight on. Well, obviously that's a different camera angle, and then on 7/28/22 He's looking kind of the same way, but he's obviously yelling or not. So his forehead's going to be scrunched up or not. I don't think that this shows anything.
I think the chin too. If you look at the chin,
what are they trying to say here on this deal here?
Today, nationals through the health and among pundits about whether we are in a recession. Right, but if you look at the job market, consumer spending, there's a special resurrection and pro.
That's a little too much Joe Biden for me.
That was weird.
That was a little too much.
His eyebrow doesn't move in the middle one, but it moves in the first one and the second one. It looks like the guy in the middle had Botox and the two guys on the outside didn't. Do you see that? There's 11s, the wrinkles in between his forehead.
Do you think that he's gone through extensive plastic surgery?
In my opinion, he's had very extensive plastic surgery, from a facelift to his eyes to a chin implant. Yes, that's my professional opinion. That's what I believe.
Did any of it work?
Yeah, it worked. He looks like an old guy that had too much plastic surgery. Worked perfectly.
I think he should just stop with the plastic surgery.
Why?
Boy, Hootie.
He should?
Hootie, our fine, nearly Baker acted, or he has been Baker acted.
Yeah, he said he has been.
He, obviously in a very much a relationship with Carrie Underwood. They speak a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she's already called him and let him know that her Tennessee home caught fire. I hope Hootie has an alibi and he was in the state of Florida, not in Tennessee, and decided to try to be an arson.
He's going to rebuild. She's going to rebuild the whole house with Amazon gift cards.
A fire at Carrie. I'll let that one go. A fire at Carrie Underwood's residence was it was quickly contained.
Perfect.
Like whatever.
Yeah.
No, there was no fire damage to the primary residence, and the family and their pets were unharmed. Clickbait. Right?
Yeah.
The first Biden, I'll go into words after this. The first Biden-Trump debate will include microphone muting and a coin flip. With less than 2 weeks until the first presidential debate, CNN, which is going to hold it, announced the rules agreed on by both President and Donald Trump. They include a microphone muting, coin flip, all right, and more when the two candidates face off at the network's Atlanta studio on June 27th. The debate, which is being moderated by CNN anchors Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, will run for approximately 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. There'll be no live audience and one major change from the debates in past. So the prior debates always had an audience. But you know what? I kind of like the fact that there's no audience, because an audience can be disruptive and swayed.
Yes, they can be.
And emotional. Where a guy gets a zinger in, they're like, oh, yeah, regardless of who it is. But it's like, I like the dry form, mics muted, so that the candidate can say exactly what they wanted, with the other candidate being able to rebut. And no crowd in there that could be staged or bought or paid for. I like it dry and raw.
Looks like they won't have any pre-written notes either.
What do you think the chances are that CNN doesn't give Biden the questions ahead of time?
Oh, what do you?
You think he's going to remember it though? He's not allowed to have notes.
Whatever.
So you're saying that's what the conspiracy is going to be?
That is absolutely, because that African American woman that's all over CNN now. Slipped the answers or the questions to the candidates last time to Biden, so he could be prepared. It's ridiculous. They cheat. They're going to cheat no matter what any way possible. They're going to cheat. And CNN hates Trump. Jack Tapper hates Trump. You're talking about one of the most biased newscasters in America right now. He absolutely hates Trump.
That will only hurt him. If this is not fair, then that's only going to hurt the people that aren't being fair.
Dan,
aren't
the questions pretty? I mean, you know what you're going to get asked at this point. There's nothing really they can surprise you with.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you, Seth, in the fact that we know the issues.
Yeah.
So I mean, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get probably something on abortion. You're probably going to get something on immigration. You're going to probably get something on how we should handle the Israel-Palestinian conflict.
Ukraine.
You're going to get a Ukraine, Russia deal, and then maybe an environmental, deal. But that's the only thing you're going to get. Right? What else are they going to talk about? I mean, that's all you're going to get. So, however they word that up, I don't know.
Are they going to talk about Trump's personal You think they're going to talk about like Hunter Biden or Trump's personal issues?
I think both should be out of bounds.
Oh, really?
I mean, I think. Well, they're either both in bounds or they're both out of bounds.
Right, I agree.
So if you're gonna grease Trump on the fact that he's a felon now, then the Hunter Biden stuff is in bounds. If you're not gonna grease Trump on the fact that he's a registered felon now, then the Hunter Biden stuff's out of bounds. You can't go there. And I think America has formed their own opinion on both matters that we don't need to hear their opinions. This doesn't need to be a mudslinging fest of Hunter versus Donald's legal problems. We need to know what your plan is to fix our country. We're broken. Well, our economy's broken. Inflation is killing us. Immigration is killing us. We're split on. We're right down the middle and volatile over abortion. We the energy, the environmental, global warming, carbon footprint. Those are the things that they need to talk about, because those are the things that each one of these guys are going to have a differing opinion. I think obviously Trump's opinion of immigration is going to be a 180 from Joe Biden.
Melissa Carpenter, $100 for baseball heckling. Venmo.
Let me also, who dropped off the G-ball from the gate yesterday?
Big Man 028.
Big Man 028. Literally just came in here, G-ball full of cash. Love him. But I mean, I'm excited. And Seth had a great suggestion. Lummy, can you find out what time it'll be? Is it going to be 8 o'clock? Like 8 to probably 9:30? If it's 90 minutes.
I hope they don't do a 9 to 10:30.
Oh, me either. That's the difference of us being able to do a.
You got to respect the East Coast.
Yeah.
Get tired easily.
We do.
It looks like it's going to start TV coverage 8 o'clock.
Oh, that doesn't mean it starts at 8, though.
It's going to start 8:30, 11 to 10.
Yeah.
And now it's going to, looks like they possibly even have it going at 9 o'clock.
Oh.
That's what it looks like when it starts.
Seth had a good idea, is that we actually do a show covering the debate, and we bring Babyface in here, and we bring Dan in here, and they're yelling it out, and then we just sit here and feather the pedal a little bit and let those two gnaw at the bone.
And now it looks like it will be starting at 9 o'clock.
Well, I just enjoyed the opportunity to hear 90 minutes of Biden telling me all the good things he's done for the last 3.5 years.
That's great. We need to be all ears on that deal.
9 to 10:30.
Be like Dumbo listening to that
ridiculous.
Commercial free.
No, they're going to have 2 commercial stop
this
sets.
thing says commercial free, but
They're going to have 2 commercial stop sets in 90 minutes.
And if we're just being fair here, that's way past Joe Biden's bedtime.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
We were drunker than Nick Hogan's wife when we put this thing together. BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
They're going to have to give Joe that State of the Union cocktail.
Oh yeah. Well, I think more people are interested to see how each performs and not necessarily what they say.
Yeah, I do too. Oh boy, I bet you it'll be I bet you there'll be fucking,
I could see
30 million people fucking watching it.
When Trump's mic gets muted, he's going to run over.
He's going to go batshit crazy.
And he's going to run over Joe Biden's mic, or he's going to break out like a megaphone.
Can you imagine they cut his mic off? He goes, okay, I just want to tell you what I was. I know they cut my mic off, but I had a lot of brilliant, just tremendous stuff to still say. It's just, it's unbelievable how. Just want to let you know, as we're approaching 9:30, it's Sleepy's Joe's getting a little tired over there. I can see him getting tired. Yes, very tired.
Very tired.
Lummy, we're almost done. Oh, we got Clement Kush though with Phil.
Yeah, and then I got pigmentation. What's up, redneck? What do you want to do? Like a half an hour with him?
Yeah, however long.
So, Bob, I gotta leave in like 10 minutes. Do you want me to leave now or you want me to hang 10 minutes and then leave?
Now.
You sure?
Yeah, that way.
Okay.
All right, bye, buddy.
See you guys Friday.
See you, man. Thanks, Pippi. We'll just tell people.
I had the way to get out there to California to your restaurant. Me and my two artificial eggs will go out there and boycott the mess out of you. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous, okay? And you need to wear an I'm an idiot shirt on your shirt tonight.
Wait a second. If these two kids, who I know are not retarded, are sitting next to me, wouldn't you think that the food's bad in my restaurant?
Well, I don't know. All I know is that all of the patients that I've had as a hospice volunteer, they didn't look at my artificial eggs and say that I wasn't a fine quality human being. Let's just put it that way.
I'm not saying you're not a quality human being.
I'm saying that I don't think you're very much of one. You need to do some real soul searching. I've been praying that God forgives you for your heart.
Ma'am, I'm Ted Bell. I can't be sitting next to you in a Laker game.
What? Excuse me? You're an idiot. I would want to sit next to you.
Wait a minute. You said that you got...
I would not want to sit next to you because then people might think that I'm an idiot.
Just tell people I work 4 hours, Pippi.
I can't...
Excuse me. No, sir. They're made out of fiberglass. Thank you very much.
I can't do that. You can't do what?
I wouldn't want to do that with you.
North Carolina with dogs barking and...
What's up, Tina? Good morning.
Fiberglass legs.
They're made out of fiberglass. They're very high.
What up, Lassie?
I'm not retarded or sitting next to me.
Dan.
You think...
Good luck, Hoss. I did, Berto. Pretty spooky stuff.
What he does is one of the few things in comedy that I can say is magic.
Why doesn't the world know about you?
I don't know how that even happens. He's jumping 4 chainsaws in his zebra, and he has no script.
Yeah, I don't want to be friends with anyone that doesn't like filming.
The day that 9/11 happened, I said to Lena, let's go play miniature golf. Let's go. And we went out, I shot a 36, and the reason why I did that is to show I'm not going to let the terrorists win.
This show was so different and so creative and so refreshing.
This is a singular now. We were satirizing talk radio. We were making fun of the very medium that I was working in.
What he does.
The only man who cheated on the woman that wiped his ass.
That's gross. I love it.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Let me, I'm watching YouTube right now, which is at the Bubba Army, and it seems like chat's going real fast. Does that mean there's a lot of people in there?
Yes. You're just getting caught up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you just switch the tab over?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I was watching the Phil. I didn't know that there was a Phil Henry documentary coming out.
Oh, is there?
And Seth, we can probably ask him about that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that there was one coming out, and it just goes to show you how respected he is in the circles of radio or entertainment, that people know just how unique and brilliant he really is, because he plays all characters. He'll have like a phone like a regular phone running through the board, process a certain way, Lummy, and then he'll have his microphone, and then he'll talk off mic to make it sound like another dude, and then
I think he would be smoking in the middle of all of it too.
Yeah, he'd be burning a heater, doing it, and
he used to have videos, Bub. I don't know if
because YouTube has some.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know his YouTube years ago had just kind of set up a camera and showed him doing all the voices back and forth.
One of my favorite characters is Ted Bell. And Ted Bell owns a steakhouse in Beverly Hills, and it's called Ted Bell's. And Ted Bell's always calling in trying to get some free promotion for his steakhouse. And this one woman, I remember listening to this a couple years ago. This one woman calls in, and she's got she has prosthetic legs. And I guess Ted tells her not to come to the restaurant because that would kind of freak him out. And this is Phil Henry playing all the characters. Right here, listen.
Think that the food's bad in my restaurant?
That's Ted Bell.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that all of the patients that I've had as a hospice volunteer, they didn't look at my artificial legs and say that I wasn't a fine quality human being. Let's just put it that way.
I'm not saying you're not a quality human being.
I'm saying that I don't think you're very much of one. You need to do some real soul searching. I'll be praying that God forgives you for your
and the way that he would be able to do it so that they were both talking at the same time is that he would have already recorded her. All of her responses were already recorded, Lummy. So that way he could, if you can hear it, you're like, well, there's no way this guy, because you can hear him kind of trying to overtalk her a little bit in the background. But it's because that she was pre-taped. Listen.
Some real soul searching. I'll be praying that God forgives you for your heart.
See, his mic's live still.
Ma'am, I'm Ted Bell. I can't be sitting next to you. I can't be sitting next to you at a Laker game.
Why? Excuse me? You're an idiot. I wouldn't want to sit next to you.
Wait a minute. You said that you got...
I would not want to sit next to you because then people might think that I'm an idiot.
And then Lummy, he has the dogs barking piped in the background.
This is perfect.
You got dogs and two plastic legs? I can't do that.
Excuse me. No, sir. They're made out of fiberglass. Thank you very much.
I can't do that.
And by the way, he's playing her, too. He's already played her. He's already laid her down on tape. Now he's just spitting as Ted Bell live.
Can't do what?
And then occasionally, Lummy, he'll get closer to his microphone and play himself as the talk show host.
Nice.
I mean, it's just like, again, Seth, you're as familiar in radio as I am. Like, there's only one. I only know of one person that can do that has done this successfully on the level that he has, and it's Phil Henry.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I wouldn't want to do that with
She's
you.
in North Carolina with dogs barking and two, what did you say, fiberglass legs?
They're made out of fiberglass. They're very high tech.
Hey, Rhett or Mach, see if you can find. Lummy, I think we got a couple different instances where he actually, like, he's my friend, and Phil used me, like Bubba the Love Sponge.
Really?
One time is when Obama's Air Force One plane was catered with fried chicken, and somehow I got blamed for that, or I don't know.
Well, I can tell you that.
But he's mentioned me a couple different times.
Tickets for the Hornets?
The Hornets have moved to New Orleans.
I beg your pardon.
Okay, there you go.
I beg your pardon.
Do you have courtside tickets?
Do I?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have courtside tickets, and I don't need any.
You have fiberglass legs. I've got a...
No, I have two artificial legs. I have...
All right, so that's the guy we have on today, Lummy.
Yes, 10:30.
He just got inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame, and Seth and I like to congratulate him. Seth, is it to be the first time that you've talked to Phil?
I met him in person one time.
In Chicago?
Yeah, at a conference, and he actually trashed radio way back then. I think it was like in 2015. So
really?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to what he has to say about it now.
I think his main thing is philhenry.com. I think that's where he tries to take everybody, is philhenry.com.
Yeah.
And then, Lummy, I think he's got a documentary coming out. I don't know when. Here it is. The reason I'm going to play it now is because I want to be able to have told him that I've watched it, and I don't know that I can play it when I have him on Zoom, so I can tell him that I've watched it. Here's the Phil Henry documentary that I'm assuming, Lummy, I don't know if it's out.
I'm looking it up.
Or it's coming out.
I think it came out in March.
Did it?
What he does is one of the few things in comedy that I can say is magic.
Yeah, March 15th.
March 15th?
Yep.
Where was it distributed? Just, wherever?
Yeah, it looks like
the world.
I think it's on Apple TV. It says here.
And Amazon.
Apple TV and Amazon?
Yeah, Prime.
Old Chicago guy, Seth. Again, most of Phil Henry's hardcore, real admirers are those that are in the business that just know how unbelievably hard it is to do what he does. Like, virtually impossible. In fact, there's only been one that has done it, and that's been him. And I think people would scoff or laugh at anybody that tried to attempt it now. You know, maybe that era is gone. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that radio's in the same position that Phil Henry could do that.
Well, no, because he's not with everything streaming. There's no theater of the mind. I mean, you're gonna have it right in front of you. Now, if someone could do different voices and go back and forth, that would be something you would definitely want to watch. But I mean, this is something Phil's probably been doing since he was a kid.
Right.
So, and he's 70 now. It's probably a lost art.
Did you see where Florida McDonald's employee
Lakeland, Florida,
shot
at a customer?
Should have, though. If you watch the video like we're going to watch it, the customer comes through the drive-through window. At that point, it might not be a McDonald's policy, but at that point, man, you don't know that he's not going to jump in through the window and you don't know that he's not armed, and you don't know that he's not going to jump in the window and kill you. I think stand your ground law. Like if that woman right there, like by the cashier, Lummy, if she had a gun. Now what her problem was is she went outside to the drive-through.
She kind of went after him.
Yeah, she went outside of McDonald's, the building, and shot him while they were in the drive-through. I think you got to shoot them while they're coming through the front, while they're coming through the drive-through window. I think if you're going to shoot, that's when you got to shoot them. But McDonald's probably has a don't shoot any of the customers policy.
Yeah, probably not.
Right? Here's the video, and I don't think there's any audio to it at all. So she's obviously having an issue with a person that's going through the drive-through. It looks like they're arguing. Again, there is no volume on this. And looks like she's kind of like, hey, okay, whatever. She's obviously mad. She slams the door. Now, hold on. Oh, yeah. She throws a drink on the guy. She throws a drink on the dude. And the other woman comes and shuts the door. And now the dude opens up the drive-through, and he's now...
that's a chick.
That's a girl, and she's reaching through the drive-through, throwing cups and things at the workers. The workers come back and yell at her again, and I think she comes through one more time.
Man, lock the window.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the girl that you saw grab the purse and go outside...
Not the best idea.
That's what she's doing right now. I think it gets picked up now here... Hold on here. So it's boom, boom, boom. Now I think it goes to the outside. She now goes to the outside, and you can see a gun. Can you see the gun in her hand? She gun in her hand, and she's like there's two cars that are like just waiting to get their stuff. She bypasses those two, and I think she guns down Now, did she kill him?
I think she was just shooting at him.
Oh, just shooting at him when they acted that way. I mean, that might not be such a,
I mean, does Grady Judd put up with that?
Hold on. Was she firing right here? Look, hold on. Right here, look. Ready? Boom. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The guy had already driven away, and she's firing across the parking lot. That can't be safe.
That's hot since I just got into guns. I'm kind of into that.
Kind of into that McDonald's manager that decides that rolls around strapped?
Dude, I'm telling you, that's just I don't know.
Say it.
Let's enough around and find out. It's about time these fast food people fought back.
Yeah, poor little things. Because they're dealing with the drunkenness of society at 2:30 in the morning, and you get
even at 7 in the morning or 12. It's you got a bunch of dicks coming through there 24/7.
Yeah, you get people at their worst.
Yeah, true. I wonder if you ever get chicks that
No, you don't, Bubba.
You don't.
No, well, I mean, I didn't. I did Checkers at Burger King. There were no chicks.
There's no hot chicks coming through.
Like Burger King groupies.
There's no hotties that are going through their set that as you're giving them their drink, they're like, hey, you wanna
my little fast food freak.
You wanna see? I'm not wearing any panties. and they kind of nudge up their tennis skirt a little bit, and you see the poppy double soppy op just laying there in the wind.
Why do I always get caught up in your fantasies? No, there were no girls that were zoppy-opping and showing me their hooters while I was slinging at Burger King. Okay,
you know my ultimate fantasy is flight attendant. You know that. Like, that's my ultimate fantasy is flight attendant.
It's number 2 fry cook.
No, not my ultimate fantasy is not the number 2 fry cook. No, My ultimate fantasy is that flight attendant. You know that I'm flying. I'm flying to Indiana, and she's like,
that makes the flight attendant so horny.
She's like, you flying to Indiana? I'm like, yeah. She's like,
are you Bubba the Love Sponge?
Are you Bubba the Love Sponge? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, I used to listen to you back in the Power Pig.
Homie with the big baloney.
The homie with the big baloney, 14.5, and you ain't lying. And your dad owns a radio station, right? Yeah, it's all me. Wait, did you know I used to participate in No Panties Thursday?
Oh,
really? And do you know that I ain't wearing any right now, even as an adult? No, I did not know that. Well, listen, I'm staying over in Indy. You know, if you want to swing on by my room and blast me. It has to be like, I don't have time for drinks and dinner and taking you out.
Well, Bubba,
it needs to be I come to your room and blast you.
I get your fantasy aspect of it. You know, I do think, you know, maybe some women are down for a blasting. Some probably would like to, you know, maybe talk to you for 5 minutes beforehand. But yeah,
we can talk for 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Hey, I was in the Power Pig. Where'd you live, Carol? What grade? Yeah, what middle school? Yeah.
Just to give her a chance to reconsider everything.
Right, you know. And then just give her a straight blasting.
Yeah, because flight attendants, I would imagine they get caught up in moments of loneliness and weakness, and they look over and see a guy like you, and you know, what the hell? And then who knows if they come to their senses?
Well, especially if they know who I am. I mean, see, that's Bubba the Love Sponge.
Oh, big breaking news: Justin Timberlake arrested for DWI in the Hamptons.
Really?
Yeah, just shot all over the TV.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Holy shit, a lot of people have worked here. Glad we built BubbaArmyHQ.com for all the PTSD memories.
Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Man, thoughts and prayers to Timberlake.
Yeah.
He was just here.
Was he?
Yeah.
The Bubba Lights, 1100 bits.
What's up, Bubba Light?
What's up, RC Elvin? Bulldog Tommy, good morning. Why does that have to be Buzzer Bob?
Let me. I had like a hydrogen bomb there. Did you see that?
What was that?
That's my hydrogen water, and I don't think you're supposed to fucking maybe. I almost had a bomb right there.
Shaking it up or something?
No, I don't know. Fuck, I had a hydrogen bomb.
I almost died. Seth was out of here too. We're the only one to live. Oh, Seth's back. Seth, we almost blew up.
I mean,
You guys did?
People should watch the replay.
Shit.
I did a hydrogen bomb.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry this happened to you guys.
Oh, man. Wow.
Yeah, Steve, go, Bill, man. Go for it. Okay, Rob.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. The manliest alpha man that wears women's deodorant. Welcome back to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Go to Bubba Army merch, Bubba Army store, BubbaArmyShop.com. The Air Bubba Fat Man Dunks slides are selling unbelievable. The Fat Man Dunks Air Bubba 2s low top. The 86 Jordan-inspired throwback black and reds available, and then the Italian-inspired green, red, and what is it? Green, red, and white. They're available too. You're going to only be able. Those are only for pre-orders. Both that, this shoe right here, and this shoe, and the slides. Lummy. Only till like July 1st, Monday, July 1st, like until noon or something like that. And then they get pulled off and I'll get them made. Merch Crick wanted to know if you and Daniel Rose, Fast Talking Daniel Rose, wanted to reschedule your repack.
Possibly, just because also the, with everything going on.
Yeah, with the Tampa Tarpons. And just the cash cube break in, and I'm thinking you might want to
maybe push it back another week.
Is this because Tracy's in a body cast?
Well, that also might have something to do with it. Yeah, Tracy is injured, and
let's suspend it till further notice. You can still buy your position in the repacks if you like. It's my second row, first one down. It says Bubba Repacks Limited Edition. You got the Shaquille O'Neal jersey. You just got a bunch of great stuff. But we don't know when we're going to quite do that yet because Tracy's in a body cast. What happened to her?
She got into a motorcycle accident.
With Fast Talking Daniel Rose?
No. I think she was by herself just riding. Got into an accident.
Really?
Yeah.
Just being a badass motorcycle riding bitch that she is?
That's right.
Nice.
I can't see Daniel Rose on a motorcycle.
No, me either.
I could see him riding behind her.
Riding bitch.
In the sidecar.
The slides and the Bubba Army to the Fat Man Dunks 2 available for a limited time. Go out and get those while you can. Operation Pigmentation t-shirts, the ducks, the hoodies, the red hats, the 3/4 zips, the beanies, the belt buckles, the straw hats, the koozies. Lummy, I think I reordered the Stanleys. We just got a bunch of great stuff. Go to Bubba Army Merch, Bubba Army Store, and BubbaArmyShop.com to get them. Did you see? Have you seen Katy Perry?
She looks pretty good for her age.
Oh my God!
What's her age? She's not even 40, is she?
I thought she is.
Is she?
I thought so.
But I mean, she has lost a bunch of weight, got in shape, hired a trainer. I don't know. Is this her?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks a shade touched up, but I thought that she was great the way she was before.
Man. And she's got those natural big flip-flop jugs, too.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of shrunk, though, with all the weight she lost.
Did she have a baby?
No.
Did she have a baby, Lummy?
No.
No, this is called an album's getting ready to
She's
drop.
had a baby a while ago.
Oh, here.
So intelligent.
So she's never had any work done.
I think that she's almost lost too much weight.
That's what it looks like to me.
She looks kind of gaunt.
She is heaven sent.
I'm not gonna ring.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. I'm not gonna play the music because I want to get a strike. But man, she looks. But again, a lot of makeup. You know, like what's that bitch look like right out of right?
Well, I mean, I'm sure she's still a delight. I just that just looks like. I mean, it almost looks like it's AI.
Yeah,
it's a perfect picture.
That looks pretty good. You think that's highly edited? First of all,
I think she's cute. I think she's always been cute.
I think she naturally looked. She's always looked good.
Yeah.
She just wasn't as skinny, and she just had her
massive jugs.
Her jugs, I guess you would say, were plentiful, bountiful maybe.
Now they've kind of she's kind of. Oh, hold on, what's she saying here?
I mean, the PSIs have leaked out a little bit.
I think you're right. She's got like an empty. You know, she's a prime candidate.
No, for undisclosed reasons. Hey, Lyle, are you coming?
No. Okay. Enough of Katie. She looks good as hell, Lummy. I will tell you this, but I think that she may have lost a little too much weight.
We still would love you either way.
Oh, I'd blast the hell out of her just so that you could say that's a notch right there, Lummy.
Oh, Orlando Bloom would just sit in the corner and watch.
Obama pleads with digital influencers to back Biden. You may not agree with everything he says. So, are they literally pulling out all the stops at this point because they know that they're in trouble?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they've thrown all their eggs into the Biden basket. And, former President Obama called on digital influencers to
Who's he
use
asking? Like I Show Speed? Like who does he want?
maybe the Mr. Beast? I don't know.
What's he want?
I mean, let's read the article. He's asking digital influencers to use their massive online audiences on TikTok, Instagram, and other social media platforms to help President Biden with his re-election campaign, despite any political differences they may have. The former president, whom Biden served under as vice president, and who, but by the way, is listen, if the Democrats could put Barack Obama in there, he's sharp.
A lot of people think he still is.
He's present.
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to be there, though.
I mean, he did come out with that piece saying if he could be a third, he would have an earpiece and all that kind of stuff.
The former president, blah, blah, blah. Joe Biden, you may not agree with everything he does. Obama said at a campaign fundraiser for Biden in Los Angeles this past Saturday, according to Axios. By the way, you didn't agree with everything I did, and that's okay. Because because in a big, messy, complicated country like this, there's always going to be disagreements. True. I need you guys to use your influence, and it doesn't have to be boring, Obama said. So is he saying
Man, they must still have information in front of them that says celebrity endorsements work. Because the way that they keep asking and going after them, there's no way they wouldn't do. Like, to me, it just seems like, and maybe you could influence a bunch of, 18, 19-year-olds on TikTok that are following somebody. But to me, I feel like everybody else, kind of has their mind made up. I don't know if Julia Roberts or Mr. Beast or anybody can sway you one way or another. And if they can, you're an idiot.
I think I think that maybe the celebrity or organic / evergreen endorsements work. This is just my opinion. When you don't have your former boss begging for digital influencers to cover you, but when you are like Donald Trump and you walk into the UFC venue and 19,000 people in New Jersey are going nuts over you being there, I think that works.
Well, I mean, even the picture with Joe and George Clooney and Julia Roberts, that's pretty massive.
Very, very, but doesn't seem to be as effective. I mean,
you're right. You're right. I mean, they raised a lot. They raised a ton of money. I just don't know how much influence those celebrities have unless they're just using them to raise money.
Obama added that that they may need to use humor to get people engaged as they swipe through TikTok videos and Instagram feeds. The Biden administration has faced harsh criticism from the left, especially from college students and young voters, over its handling of the Israel-Hamas war. Large students' protests beginning at elite universities like Columbia have highlighted that ongoing divisions in the Democratic Party. I think the Democratic Party, well, and to be intellectually honest, the Republican Party, I think they're both in shambles. I think the Republican Party doesn't necessarily want this guy and the baggage that he brings, but there's nobody else that has stepped forward, even through the primary process. If there was going to be, initially...
he kind of demolished everybody, didn't he?
Yeah, but initially, remember a little bit of buzz that DeSantis had? DeSantis had a little bit of a buzz going into Iowa, and then he completely, the minute he declared himself a candidate for the president, he made some real stupid decisions here in Florida. Screwing with Disney, the removal of Andrew Warren, just a bunch of like almost dictator type stuff. And what he got it, like he was perceived as being cool on DeSantis' first term when we were right in the middle of COVID, and DeSantis is like, I'm not going to lock up Floridians in their homes, and I'm going to let them go out and live life, and I'm not closing restaurants down. We're going to try to make, provisions as to how we keep these restaurants open and keep Florida open. And when he was running on the Keep Florida Open deal, listen, DeSantis was killing it.
Yeah.
But then he got evangelical. And he got, whoever told him, hey, in order to be the president, you got to be tough on abortion, tough on this, tough. I think single-handedly, Ron DeSantis locking down abortion in Florida definitely caused a lot of people to be less enthusiastic about him than they were prior. Locking it down to 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it is now. It's only going to get overturned by it's just going to get overturned by an appellate court, and no better yet, Lummy, it's gonna pass by an overwhelmingly. It only needs 60%, and I think it's right now skewing 68%.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's going to be was it number 2 or 4 or 3? Is it number? I think it's 2.
It's 2 or 3.
Is it 2 or 3? And if you vote yes on 2 or 3, that's opening abortion back up into Florida to when the baby is viable. And that takes it from 5 weeks to 23 or 4 weeks, which, listen, even evangelical Christians are saying that you can't lock down abortion to 5 weeks because a lot of bad things happen to fetuses weeks 9 through 18. Down syndrome, cleft palate, just all heart. That's when the heart's developing the most. And, your baby might be, your sonogram might look 100% great at 6 weeks. And at 14 weeks, you might have a Down syndrome baby.
It's abortion. It's 4.
Right now, it's 4 weeks.
No, I'm saying it's 4. It's for Amendment 4.
Amendment 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I think abortion is 5 weeks, 6 weeks, right now currently.
I think it's it's 6 weeks.
Right. And it's Amendment 4, and when it passes, it's gonna make abortion. I think the law states, or something to do with you being able to get an abortion until viability, which means I think the viability is like 24 weeks.
Yes, that's what I've always heard.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm all for that. I'm all for it. Listen, it's probably not your cup of tea, and it certainly isn't my cup of tea. But locking it down to 4 or 5 weeks, you got a perfect baby, and you planned a baby, and you want a baby. You want it, like, you're not two stupid kids that are 17, 18 that aren't ready for a baby, and it's a no-brainer for you to get an abortion because neither one of you have the smarts to run, to raise a child. But like, for instance, Lummy, Walker, you and Ashley were trying to have a baby.
Yes.
And you, and Seth, you and your wife have tried to have a baby several different times and ran into all kinds of problems. And so, couples, these aren't mistakes. These are planned pregnancies. Hey, but let's have a baby. Okay. Baby looks good at 5 weeks. A little peanut. He's just like and I think him or her are just like a little peanut, aren't they? They're just little peanuts in there at 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Just a little cashew. Well, and by all indicators, at 5 or 6 weeks, little Johnny or little Rhonda, they look great. Well, then that's when some stuff starts developing and growing, and next thing you know, don't they say that Down syndrome usually shows its ugly head at about 14 or 15 weeks?
I think that's when they normally, I think, they can test or get a feel for the chromosomes and how everything's going to turn out.
At that point. Right?
Yeah, I don't think for sure, but I think like between 13 and 16, you start the testing.
Right. You start some, stuff that really starts appearing at that time. Stuff that doesn't appear the stuff that you're checking for at week 14 and 15 is stuff that's not even available to test at week 5 or 6. It's not even there.
And then they do anatomy scans. They look at everything, and they look at the neck, and try to determine if there's going to be something based off that. So I mean, it's just an intricate issue.
But the longer you go down the road, the more information you can find.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be locked into all of a sudden at week 16 you go in for your ultrasound and your prenatal and all that kind of deal and all the stuff that they do, and they determine that we have a problem. Like we have, and there's lots of different problems you can have. We have a problem. This is that, or this is this, and this marker and this marker. And then if right now, if you live in the state of Florida, it's hey, sorry, you're going to have a defective baby. Your baby is going to have Down syndrome. Well, I don't want to raise a kid with Down syndrome. I don't want to. And so we're going to go ahead and take we're taking a pass on this kid. And we're going to, get an abortion. It's not like we're a couple kids that, can't responsibly, parent and be together. No, we're a couple. We're 32 years old. We've been together for 10 years. We love each other. We already got a kid. We want another one. Sorry, this one's messed up. Now, in today's environment, you either fly somewhere else, Lummy, or you just have a messed up kid.
Yeah.
And nobody wants a messed up. Listen, kids are tough to raise normal. A normal kid that doesn't have Down syndrome, that's, like little Sammy, just a worker. She'll work you. They're hard enough to raise. Little Walker, still with blistered little fingers.
Exactly.
How are the fingers?
They're getting better.
Have they blistered? Have they blistered?
No, they actually didn't. Thanks to the fast thinking that we did right after getting in the water and the ice and all that kind of stuff.
Poor little guy.
Yeah, no.
Are you still catching crap over that?
It's kind of a little bit better.
Did you get ass last night?
No.
Let me ask you this: have you gotten ass since little Walker burnt the finger?
Nope.
Because your wives, they really, really, really protect these babies.
Oh yeah.
Like they really baby the babies. Like they baby them. You gotta you gotta let them tough them up.
Well, what's to make her horny about her son having burned fingers? Well,
that her husband feels so bad about it, and that he's getting blamed for it, and that eventually, if she gives him some ass, That will be like her way of saying everything's okay.
Well, I know. I just don't think. I
Hopefully.
don't want to speak for Ashley, but I just don't think women's are getting fully WAP over looking at third-degree burns.
No, it makes her mad.
It makes her mad.
It makes her mad.
Right.
She's like, my baby's hurt, and my dumbass husband caused it, and I don't quite want to kick my legs out wide for that stupid son of a bitch.
So I need those things to heal a little quicker.
I
'Cause
mean,
once they're gone, it's out of sight.
I don't see Warren getting any ass until potentially after the Tarpons game on Saturday, when she sees what a celebrity he is out, and then she can't contain herself.
I'm thinking this. I think Seth, you're dead on. Which is why we need Phoebe to show up some of these events, because she's going to see how much of a celebrity you are.
She doesn't care,
and she will be like, my husband is very talented, and somebody asked him to sign an autograph, and two people asked to take a picture with him, and I'm going to go. You know what? On the way home, I'm going to give him road his. I'm gonna sizz his diz when we're on 275. Howard Franklin Bridge, here we come. And she just starts going crazy on you. She's like, "Hey, honey, I didn't know you were such a big time star, man."
No, I mean, I wish that was the way my wife felt, but she definitely does not.
She doesn't think you're a big time star.
No.
You don't think she's gonna want to take it at the game?
No, I don't think she wants to take it at, near, around, before, or after the game.
Yeah. I don't think she wants to take it at, near, or around the game to the fact that she's not even going to be there.
Well, my dad's
going to have to tell him, hey, I took like 10 pictures and, signed 15 autographs.
I mean, what about after that first pitch? It just goes in there about 85 right into the catcher's
No,
mitt?
but like, what if we got video of your first pitch and you send it to her, to text it to her, and be like, hey, look what Big Papa did right across the plate, honey. Look.
All right, I don't want to.
What will she say? Oh my God, look at you.
I don't want to upset, my wife or anything, but I don't really know if there's anything I could do.
That would want her to ravish you? Is there anything that you could do on the air or off the air or just in life that you could come home when Sammy's at school and she is just horny as hell? She's got a little outfit on for you. She's got a little pushed up bra deal for you. Maybe dressed up like a schoolgirl or a French maid. And as soon as you walk in, she's like, "Hey, Seth, take me."
I mean, I'm sure there's something I could do in life, but as far as doing anything on the show or being considered.
All right, then what about life? Like, what would you need to do? Like,
I'd probably help out around the house more and do all that stuff.
Really? Like if you came home today and you did the dishes or loaded I don't know what you guys do, but like do the dishes or take the dirty dishes and put them in the dishwasher, and then went to the laundry room and maybe took the clothes out of the dryer and folded them up a little bit. What would that get you?
I mean,
she'd really. I mean, she'd really.
Bitches say that's their love language, but sometimes you just get a thank you.
Yeah, but sometimes you get ass.
I understand. I can't. There's not a scenario where I don't mess with the dishes. I can't lie. Though I'll do a little laundry here and there. But there hasn't been a scenario where I've done anything with the laundry where she's been happy. It's more of like, why are you doing this? What did you do? You did this the wrong way.
Leave the laundry to me because you mess it up.
Don't do towels and jeans together. Why is this? Yeah, it's just.
What about taking the trash out?
We split that. What
if you went to her and say, "Listen, there's no more splitting on the trash. I'm 100% the trash guy."
Well,
baby, listen, baby, you ain't got to take the trash out anymore. I got it.
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
Lay it by the door. I got it.
I don't have any problem doing that. I just sometimes, in the morning when I'm not there.
Yeah.
Just you might. It's probably better to take it out than to smell up the whole house or garage or something.
Well, what you could do is responsibly look that the trash is full, and then just take it out, and then put a new bag in there, and then on your way out to the car, you put it into the receptacle where you're supposed to do.
Okay, that's.
But instead,
Ass for days.
Ass for
Oh,
days.
that's
But
not.
instead, you leave it full, you leave it stinky. She gets up, she deals with it, and she's like, my good for nothing, thinking he's a superstar radio husband, completely walked by this full trash can, had every right, had the same ability that I have to take it out, put a new bag in, and he went out, out the door way earlier than I am this morning, and now I'm left to deal with it. I think that's kind of how it goes in your household.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll go with that. I don't really do stuff in the morning. I get up and I go to work. I don't really do. There's not really going to be any chores or anything that I do. It's the most important thing is that I get up and I get out of the house. So I try not to let anything stand in the way of that.
That's chores in itself. Is just getting up and getting.
It's not, but when I wake up and I'm like, I got to get ready. I got to get out. I got to make sure I have my water in my wallet and I got to go.
But if you grab that full trash and put an empty trash bag in there, and she woke up to an empty trash bag and the trash had already been taken out, you don't think you're getting ass
Bubba,
when you get home?
she's been woken up and been around empty trash bags before. I've done this taking out the garbage and replacing it and doing all this. This is nothing new. This has not directly or indirectly led to ass, which is why I'm not so eager to start doing this every single day.
Yeah, but if you did it every day, it would eventually, you'd get that ass credit.
I just don't like the trade-off of you have to do this to get this.
That's the way all women are.
Nah, I thought that's...
Well, not mine. Mine does what she's told.
Exactly.
But
Bill just has to be talented. And he gets ass.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Seth, I can't believe you didn't see my hydrogen fucking... It fucking exploded.
No. I didn't see it. I'm glad everything's okay, though.
I'm gonna go take a TT, okay?
Okay.
I worked out a little bit yesterday, Seth.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Barrel chest is popping.
Arms are popping.
Oh, man.
you get that spray stuff?
What?
The spray sanitizer?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Why is it gone?
No. I was trying to figure out where it came from. Check your messenger.
I saw.
Without. Oh. Alright. We're good for today.
I saw.
So.
Took Dirk my Steve. PDM sad 36 months. See you there, Nash.
He's been more faithful to the Packers than to his own wife. Yes. Welcome back to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Lummy, as we are wrapping this up, Clem Kush will be next. We'll probably start that about 10:20 to be up and running. And then we're doing a Zoom interview with I was so excited when I mentioned Phil Henry's name yesterday, and Seth was like, hell yeah. That guy's a radio legend. Like, that guy's on my radio Mount Rushmore. I was like, oh, really? God, like from one radio nerd to another. Not a lot of people appreciate some of the old timers, and Phil Henry is definitely one of the most talented people ever to speak into a microphone on the radio.
Even Macho Man got excited.
Yeah.
I think everyone's excited here.
Phil, I think just pretty much, I think he's just doing his show through philhenry.com. We'll have Phil on today via Zoom on the Clem and Kush podcast, which Kush might not quite. He might stick the tip in and not give it to you today.
Well, I think there's a good majority of people that believe that it's an after show and it's live, just because we keep saying it's at 10:30 and we're actually recording it. But so I'm probably going to put it out today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I think people are going to be disappointed when they find out.
They're engorged for it. They want it.
Yeah,
they want it.
And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get it up right away because I have to do pigmentation after. So
yeah, I mean, you'll get today. So listen, today's podcast will be a little bit later. I'm assuming, Seth, like maybe 4-ish.
It'll be before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it'll be of the great Phil Henry.
Yes.
On Clem and Kush. There you go.
For the people.
Lummy, I could get into real quick and close it out. Lummy, I still got a little, can I be honest with you? I still got a little bit of a headache from that hydrogen bomb that went off.
I can't believe Seth didn't see that.
I don't know what
we almost died.
All right, see, I got this thing here, right? Let me show you. And you hit it's you take regular water and you hit that button and it puts hydrogen bubbles into your water.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of studies that say that it helps inflammation.
All right.
And and you know what it very well could be, just bubbler with blue, with a blue background.
It looks cool though.
But it could be just that. But I got to think that maybe it really is producing hydrogen, because I don't think you're supposed to leave the cap on. And I left the cap on, and I hydrated some water, and when I took the cap off, it literally was a mini explosion.
Yeah, it was.
It went. So, I still got a little bit of a headache from that.
That's not good.
Because, it was right here, right down there by my face, and I opened it up, and it was like, pow! Like, it didn't break any glass, but it definitely was a large pop, and I kind of got a headache from it.
That's not good. You should probably call Dr. Dan.
And you thought you were going to blow up from it?
No, I just didn't. I mean, no, I think I'd like a little, maybe a little PTSD percussion kind of deal. Trump is now. This is one of the reasons why I'm going to vote for the guy if he can get this done. But which Tom Bean says he can't get this done. I don't know, Lummy, if anybody's fact checked him, but Donald Trump wants to say that people in the entertainment industry or food server industry, he's going to Trump proposal to exempt tips from taxes could cost $250 billion. Now, he has campaigned and said that those that get tips, strippers, waiters, bartenders, whatever, that you're no longer going to get federally taxed on your tips. We're trying to figure out on our business template, Lummy, if we can say, okay, so our YouTube money is our YouTube money. Our Facebook money is our Facebook money. Our podcast money is our money. They all come from companies, right? Like a paycheck. But our Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are just tips.
Yeah, tips. And I don't understand why.
And I really do think that we have a pretty damn good argument as such.
I mean, realistically, which I kind of said it to Tom, is why can't Trump just do a presidential executive order?
He can.
Exactly. And he could do that first day, like he said.
Man, I got a headache. Did anybody on the hot mic let me see the hydrogen explosion?
Yeah.
Maybe we could find that.
They're a little nervous for you. Are you going to lay in your chair before Phil Henry?
I'm going to lay in my chair till 10:20. I'm going to lay in my chair till 15 after. And then at 15 after, I'll be in here to start Clem Kush.
Perfect.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian Lummit,
co-host Dr. Dan Diaco Esquire of Council, co-host J. Diaco Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council,
Rhett, the Filthy Ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
And for everything else, go to thebubbaarmy.com.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repay the law.